3 RMR.
And 3 RMR and 1 SAG.
I continue through the noise. Good evening.
Okay, good copy on you. You're 10 over.
Okay, copied to 10 over.
Down to a 9 on that last one there, Mark, but otherwise you're sounding good. How you doing down there, over?
I don't think he hears you.
I'm going to need about another 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes here, yep.
Okay, yeah, till I said hello then. Who's that in there, Tim?
Yeah,
N1SAG,
Dave. Dave.
Well, I double. Go ahead.
I said, how much sound to know?
You're sounding good, Tim, over.
Okay. Other than I have a bad voice. Mark, any copy?
Yeah, I get Tim. Yeah, it's just a little bit noisy down here yet. The band hasn't quite opened up for me. You guys are probably hearing each other a lot better than I'm hearing you.
Yeah, you're 29, big signal. I think you got an attenuator on that antenna.
Starts out real noisy down here until the street light kicks on and everything straightens out. I'm at a bit of a handicap.
Yeah, maybe you need a loop antenna.
I am on my loop.
I mean a receiving loop.
The receiving antenna don't even work till probably after 8:30.
Roger. Anyway, you're sounding good. So, yeah, I had my supper. I had a little rest there, Dave. Go ahead.
Okay, Tim, I hope your throat is getting better. Your laryngitis is clearing up, over.
Not really. I went and got some of my medicine today. They put me on steroids, and it's a crazy thing. You take 6 today, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then supposedly I'm cured, over.
Roger, yeah, I've had that sort of thing with steroids, and steroids are very powerful to me, and I've only had the experience once before when I put an IV, but the doctor said if I didn't do the steroids, I probably could have died. So follow the prescription to the letter, because they're so strong, they want to get you off that as soon as they can. You know, the initial dose, I guess, really is a good punch for what ails you, and then as you go on, you get better. So good luck with that, and follow the prescription. N1SAG.
N1SAG, W3. No, I didn't even find my Heil mic. We went out this morning for breakfast, and then I took my tuba to be repaired. I played the tuba and went to the grocery store, on and on. Been cutting the grass. But I'll dig through a pile and see if I'm any better on the Heil. I don't think I will be, over.
Okay, roger that. Yeah, hey, stand by, Tim. I got my wife's calling me, N1SAG.
If only I could swing my beam.
If only I had a beam. I had a 2-element phased array, 60-foot verticals on 160. They work great.
I don't even have enough room for well, maybe I do have enough room for a phased array. I just don't have the height. I can't go up very high, being close to the airport like I am. They'll put a height limitation on me.
How high can you go?
Oh, probably 70 feet.
Yeah, you don't need that much. My friend had a 30-foot vertical here on 160, and he was near the airport. Of course, he had a mile of ground radials. He had 4 top hat wires, and I followed him. I was on a Polish freighter. I followed him all the way to Europe, and the further away I got, the stronger he got.
Then comes the issue of who's going to pay for the 2 70-foot towers to concrete all the phasing line and everything else that's going to be required to get that job done. Because I know my butt's too cheap to do it.
Well, I shouldn't tell you what I did with my tower. I just dug a hole and guided. I didn't use any concrete.
Oh, well, what, you just put it in the ground?
That's what they do on field day.
Yeah, I would definitely be putting it in concrete, something like that. I don't have enough room to guide them, because where they'd have to be for a phased array on this bin, they'd have to be right near the edge of the property. And I still don't even think the borough would, the borough would, I could probably fight it and get it done, but I like my hobby, but I don't like it that much.
Roger, roger. Yeah, I talked to a civil engineer about it, and why you need all this concrete. I don't think you do. I could talk to more civil engineers, but just dig a hole and plant it. I did pour some concrete around it after the fact, but only a few wheelbarrows full to keep the weeds down over it.
Now, if I had 4 times the volume of property that I have now, I could put up one tower that would be, I could probably get away with 80 feet or something like that. I'd have to put a light on it, and I'd have to paint it red and white. But if I had an 80-foot tower, I could do a directional system like I made for 40 meters off the turbine tower. I could have northeast, west, south slopers coming off the tower, and then I'd have I'd love to do that, because I know my 40-meter version of that works fantastic. And if I could do that for 80 meters, for 160, because the tower becomes the other half of the antenna, and the slopers becomes, so it's the current portion is way up high, so you don't need radials, and it becomes somewhat directional when you do that. So you've got a horizontal and a vertical component in the whole system, and it just works out gang boosters.
I bet it does. I've got one similar. Only instead of 1, I have 8, and I feed it at the base of the antenna. It's like a sloper, but I put the hot side to the sloping wires, but they're down at the bottom of the tower, not the top. Over.
Yeah, you're just kind of fading in and out for me right now, Tim, on the receive. 1 minute you're there real strong, and then you slip right under the edge of my noise.
Roger, roger. Dave will be back in a minute.
Well, the audio sounds better tonight than it did yesterday, so let's make improvements with that.
Negative, did nothing.
We'll get more critical with it a little bit later on, but it's not good enough copy yet to really get super critical with it.
Yeah, how much is my voice and how much is the audio? My voice is better. The laryngitis is not so bad.
Well, it just sounds a lot more clear and understandable tonight than it did last night. Last night it was very it was very monotone, very kind of one little slice in the audio band of somewhat low mid-range, and it was very hard because there was intelligibility that was missing, and with the noise, with the lightning crashes and all that other garbage going on, some of your words just got lost because you couldn't actually make out what was going on. Tonight it seems like you got a little bit more intelligibility. You got a little bit more high end in there, and we can pick out the consonants and the syllables a little bit better, which makes the understanding a bit better. And it's really critical too, because this time of the year, if you don't have good, clear, clean audio and with good fidelity and good intelligibility to it, you're really handicapping yourself for this band this time of the year.
Yeah, I didn't run an amplifier for 30 years, and then I got on 160 and discovered you needed an amplifier.
Well, you don't necessarily need an amplifier on this band, but during the summer months, it really gets tough. For the guys that may be on the edge, or propagation's poor, or the lightning's at 20-25 over 9, for the guys that don't have beverages or anything like that, it really does get tough when you're at 100 watts. You just get buried in the noise. So I'd have to agree with Ray a little bit on that one. You really need about 500 watts or more if you really want to make an every night stab at this band throughout the summer months with the high lightning, static, and atmospherics. Now, during the winter months, 100 watts, you could probably easily get away with that with good results with a good full loop antenna and, all that jazz. But during the summer months, you need a few more electrons in the wire.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, I've got this antenna up higher. It's 60 feet at one end and 20 at the other, so I got a way to put it up another 20 feet, so I'll have it 60 at one end and 40 at the other, over.
Well, if you could go up another 60 feet, that would be great.
That would be great. If I really wanted, I'd put up an inverted L, a 3/8 inverted L, 100 on the flat top and 60 on the vertical, and that's one of the best antennas I've used on this band.
Oh, now I know what this noise is here, local. It's my street light starter. The street light starter's kicking on and off. It was off there for that whole conversation I had with you, and now it kicked back on. That little bugger, ever since I got this loop up and got it with better wire and everything and better sensitivity and efficiency, well, that little sucker is nothing but a troublemaker for almost 3/4 of an hour, from about 7:30 till about almost 8:15.
Yeah, that's too bad. I'm thinking of receiving loop. I think that's the W8AR or something, which has a lot of directionality. You might find the null place on that light system.
Yep, it's just burying you right now. You need about 10,000 watts there, Tim. If you could just turn on your 10,000 watt amplifier, that'd be great.
Roger, Roger. Okay. Well, we'll wait until Ray and Randy and Dave and everybody gets back here. We'll catch you in a bit. N2 KE3EGW3HHN.
N3 RMR.
RN3 RMR, right.
And when SAG, I'm back, and the wife's due home any minute, and help her carry in some stuff at that point. But I talked to Randy earlier this evening. He was out in his mobiles prowling around the countryside, so he's got the mobile unit running again. It sounded pretty good here, over.
Yeah, what band was that?
Right here on frequency, over.
What time of day?
It had to be at least an hour ago, maybe even a little more, about an hour ago, maybe more.
Yeah, we used to get on at high noon. I was down a little bit south of it, and I would talk down to North Carolina every day, high noon. I did have a pair of phase verticals and a kilowatt, and this other guy had a vertical, and it was, saltwater path, but high noon, New York State to North Carolina, over.
I would guess, only my guess, that the verticals may have helped in the longer, on 160, the longer distance, no?
My dipole, I couldn't hear a peep on my dipole.
Oh, yeah, see, that's what they say. Yeah, I never fooled with verticals down here. I'm just running the horizontal dipole.
Okay, now my east-west beverage is starting to work.
Oh, good. Yeah, I have the same deal with my beverage, too. It works better at nighttime. Yeah, who's that?
Well, it was doing pretty good there for a minute.
Yeah, somebody called in. Who called in?
Kilo 2 Alpha Yankee Alpha.
K2 Alpha Yankee Alpha. Whiskey 3 Hotel November. Go ahead.
Well, all this talk about antennas, and I'm up with a rain gutter. How copy, over?
Rain gutter, where are you talking from?
New Jersey. Woodbridge, New Jersey, about 20 miles west of New York City. Name is Bob.
Okay, Bob, how much power are you running? You're doing good. How you copying him, Dave?
S9 up here, Bob, N1SAG.
And I even copy in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania from the rain gutter, Bob. The name's Mark.
Hey, Mark, how you doing? I recognize the voice, but not the call.
Norway 3, Radio, Mexico Radio. You say you're running a rain... How big is that rain gutter?
Well, it's a long story. I'll cut it short. Used to be a loop of wire about 20 feet up horizontal. The loop was 100 feet long. It didn't do too well. So I opened up the loop, and the other side was a rain gutter running directly north-south. It's 100 feet long. It has two downspouts, which are ending in PVC pipe about 6 feet above the ground. And I just thought I would try it out as a flyer, and it seems to work. So there you go.
Wow, you could officially say that you have a water-cooled antenna.
I think it's Alcoa, and yes, the SWR is severely influenced when it rains. Over.
Well, I bet it is. Yeah, well, it's getting the job done, that's for sure.
How is the intelligibility?
Completely readable, no problem, Bob.
Just try not to burn the house down.
Yeah, that's a definite concern, but I have everything in sight. There's nothing buried or nothing running through any weird spaces, so I can see everything. Over.
Yeah, it's the one little nail that's just barely connecting that you can't see that always gets you.
No, it's a very, very good connection. I made certain of that.
How high is it off the ground, Bob?
About 22 feet or so.
And 100 feet long?
There you go.
You say 100 feet long?
100 feet long, filled in the middle. So that particular leg would actually be a
Yeah, roger, roger. Yeah, you're sounding good up here near Albany, New York, over.
Well, thank you. That's all I care about.
Yeah, rain gutter Bob's been on the air for as long as I've been on 160, so always sounds good. Yeah, your intelligibility's good up here. All the audio's very nice, Bob, no problem. N1SAG.
Well, it's a very high compliment because on this net, apparently a K3 always sounds bad. Over.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that, and I'm not that hard to please anyway. So if you can do it on a rain gutter and sound that good, it makes me, you do it with a rain gutter, I have to use an amplifier, N1SAG.
Yeah, but you got to remember, too, that rain gutter's got some real thickness to it, so it's actually electrically quite longer than just its normal length.
I think it's remarkable, still, Mark. Hey, Devin, go ahead.
Hello, Dave, Mark, Bob, and I guess there's a new person, Tim. Good evening, Devin in Ashford, Connecticut. How's everybody doing? How are you doing, Mark?
Evening, Devin.
Hey, good evening, Mark. Sounding pretty good here in Ashford, about 5.9 plus here. How much power are you using?
I'm sorry, are you asking me or asking Bob?
Asking Mark. Is your name Mark?
Yes, my name is Mark. Yeah, I'm having a little problem on the receive down here. I got a street light starter that's intermittent, and the band isn't leveled out for me here yet on receive. So I am running a gazillion watts into a full loop. I forget how many zeros this amp puts out, but I dim the street lights when I transmit, okay?
All right, you are good. 5.9 plus 10 or so. Sounding very good. Hey, Dave, how much power are you running?
I don't know. I'm exciting it with 60% power here, over.
You're 30 over here with me. And Tim, W3HSN, good evening. We have never met, but this is K1DSK. Hello, and how much power are you running?
K1DSK. We've never met, but we've certainly talked a few times, Devin.
Yes, what's your antenna and how much power?
I'm using a low-down full-wave loop and about 500 watts. My loop goes from 60 feet to 20 feet, over.
Okay, that's pretty good. You are about 20 over here. Sounding good. Bob, I know your rain gutter. How much power are you running, Bob?
Generally about 300 watts. If it the amplifier is very, very picky, very, very fussy, and I have to hold it down to about 300 or so, or else it'll kick out. Over.
All right, I copy you S9, 5 and 9. Good copy. Noise is about 5.8 here. All right, I'll pass it back to Nat. Oh, by the way, Dave and Mark and everybody else, I had my cataract surgery on Tuesday, left eye, which was getting pretty bad. The procedure took about 45 minutes. I walked out there. Boy, can I see. I can see very clearly sharp. I wish I had done this earlier. And in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, 28th, I have my second eye, right eye. So wish me luck.
Yeah, a question there, Devin.
Go ahead.
Did you have the laser assist there?
No, it was not a laser. It was traditional with a scalpel. The doctor was very good, and I was awake throughout. Actually, I was talking to them. They didn't have to give me any anesthetic, or sedation, just local drops and anesthetic for local. I was cracking jokes and asking doctor everything he was doing, and he was explaining everything. It never felt like an operation. Only thing I felt was little pressure on the eye. That's it. And I corrected it for distance, and I will use glasses for near sight. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you know what the laser does?
Oh yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah, with the laser, but it's the same process. Laser also cuts. It just burns those tissues and makes a cut. It's very precise and focused. Go ahead.
Yeah, I opted for the laser. I had both of mine done, and of course it's like night and day. I could barely drive at night, and now it's perfect. I'm 20/30. I'm 20/30, and everything is much brighter. The blues are bluer, and I can read without glasses and drive without glasses. Over.
Oh, so you're a correction for both near sight and distance? Go ahead.
I don't know. They didn't do that, but it just turned out that's what happened.
Yeah, I certainly would need glasses because only right eye is done. I was having problem watching TV. Now I can watch from distance. And yesterday I was at the university for a student's defense, PhD defense. I'm a committee. I could see all the slides and board from the back very clearly, which I used to have problem with. But this is like magic, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, you remember I used to teach at the College of Pharmacy in Philly, right?
College of Pharmacy in Telluride.
In Philadelphia. PCPNS, Philadelphia College
what
of
school
Pharmacy
is that?
and Science.
I think we doubled. What school is that?
You doubled, hang on.
I was a professor there at the College of Pharmacy in Philly.
Oh, PCPS?
Roger.
Oh, what year?
What year you would ask that question? 19, I'm going to figure it out. 19, holy mackerel. About 1970 to 75, over.
70, the Ando, Howard Ando was there, and Sugita, were they there?
Roger.
Oh, I've been teaching at the School of Pharmacy, Yukon, since '83. I just retired a year and a half ago. So I know all those guys. They had come here for meetings and everything, so I know those guys. Oh, good. I didn't know that. Go ahead.
I told you that before.
Well, I'm an old man, retired now. I don't remember things.
I'm an old man. I do remember things.
You sure it was in the 1900s, old-timer? How you doing, Timmy?
Wait a minute.
How do you like my loop antenna?
You're romping and stomping. Got a good signal.
Yeah, I need to get the other end higher. It's a bitch running through the woods, and I've cut several trees down. The far end is only at 20 feet so far.
Yeah, you're doing good. 25 over. I can't stay. I just heard you guys in here. I'm in the middle. We got company here, and so anyway, I can't stay. But anyway, I wanted to say that we're getting together at the Misty Moon in Pittsfield, Massachusetts tomorrow, Sunday at 10 o'clock.
Ooh. Okay. Tell me the name of that.
Misty Moonlight Diner in Pittsfield, Mass. And it's in Pittsfield. You can look it up. And Devin, that's for you too.
Okay, thank you. What time are you meeting there?
10 a.m., 10 a.m.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, maybe I'll see you on Sunday, Devin.
Yeah, it's about 2.5 hour drive for me here. So where do you live?
I live in Saratoga Springs, New York.
Oh, so it's how long is the drive for you?
Back in a little bit. KB2ZVP.
Roger, roger.
Later.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, let's see. I think it's about an hour run to Pittsfield for me, Devin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, 90% sure. I'll figure it out. My wife's not here. She's gone to her parents. Her dad has some surgery. If he does well, then I'll come on Sunday. If he doesn't do well, I may be visiting him. All right, back to you.
Okay, well, I'm not 100% certain. I'm 90% certain. Misty Moonlight, that's what he said, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
In Pittsfield. Ooh, that's close. That's closer than the Kingston outfit, which is June 15th.
Good evening, guys. I'm going to bail out. I'm getting too much local noise for good reception. And thanks for the signal reports. I appreciate it. But anyway, I'll be saying 7th Street. So good evening. Here's K2AYA. I'll be off and listening for a bit. Bye-bye.
7-3, Bob.
Hey, Bob, 7-3. Good to hear from you. K1DSK.
You too, Devin. Take care.
Yeah, Devin, I'm not a pharmacist. I taught calculus and physics at the College of Pharmacy over.
Yeah, that's interesting because in the PCPNS, I guess they had a 4-year program that time from freshman to all the way, or 5-year, I don't remember. Here, UConn, they had 2 plus 3, and now they're 2 plus 4. So first 2 years, they take classes at the university, general physics department, and they only come to School of Pharmacy when they are juniors. Go ahead.
Roger. Yeah, you're running a dipole, right?
No, I had was my first now when I got my license about 3.5 years ago, and the loop has just changed lengths, but are 450 ohm regular ladder rod.
It started out as a V-beam on 140 feet on the leg, and then I just added another V-beam. I can open the end of that, and it makes a rhombic for 40 meters over.
Wow. So you have just like a square or a rectangle rhombic? Go ahead.
I have a square, but if I open the end of it, and, I saw that in my book, my antenna handbook, dipole long wire antennas, that you could open the end of it, and it's a 1 lambda rhombic with a gain of about 5.3 dB.
Oh, those rhombics are amazing antennas. So is it terminated at the end by resistor or just open?
It's a loop right now because I'm on 160, but as soon as I get tired of talking to you guys, I'll open up the end there.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I can put a rhombic here. I always dreamt of putting one, but the lot is, not flat. It's very hilly, a very small portion which is flat, and mostly it's a lot of slope and hills. A lot of tall trees, but not enough for a rhombic. Go ahead.
What I'm telling you, you have one already. You built one. What's the shape of your loop, though?
The shape is a circle drawn by a kindergartner or a nursery school person. So it's a very badly drawn circle or square or rectangle. Very odd shape. Go ahead.
Yeah, it may not work. Yeah, mine is pretty much square, so it works as a square loop on 160 and a rhombic on 40. I need to put a relay box out there so I can, open and close it over.
Oh, that'll be awesome. So which way is it pointed?
That's the problem. It would be bi-directional, north-south.
Or north-south. I see. You couldn't change it to northeast, southwest, huh?
No, I'd have to plant the trees and wait for 60 years for them to grow.
Have you been to my QRZ page? My hex beam is mounted on a tree. It was an oak tree. I topped it at 45 feet, and that's where it's mounted. The running joke here is, as that tree keeps growing, the antenna height will increase and reception will be better. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you live another 20 years.
I don't count on that. Every day is a blessing. I'm breathing today, breathing tomorrow. That's all I'm looking for.
Let's see what how Mark is doing. N3RMR W3HHN. Anything, Mark?
Okay, we just got back.
Yeah, and you're 20 over now. How am I?
Imagine that.
What's my signal now, Mark?
You're 3S units on the beverage.
You're right. So what's the noise level on the beverage?
If I give you the preamp on it, you're probably up to 5. Ooh.
Yeah, but what's the noise on the beverage?
4.
The noise is 4 and I'm 3?
No, you're 5, 6, and the noise is 4 when I have the preamp on.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Anyway, don't mean to monopolize this whole thing, but that's what I'm going to do with this antenna, put a relay so I can open and close at the rhombic point over.
Can you hear me?
I just can hear you. Hold on.
He can't copy it right. You're too weak, but he's copying me.
Well, I'm not running the amp.
So did my audio improve? My voice improved?
Yeah, you sound better.
So why didn't you tell me all these years I talked to you that I had a lousy audio?
Well, I think because it usually turns into a big gigantic mess, and even though your audio is major, it's much better than it was. It's still not great.
I don't want great audio. I want understandable audio.
Well, it's even borderline. It's still, that radio just does not sound very good. It does not sound like all this new stuff. Those older radios just don't have it. The first radio that really had good audio was a 7600, and then, from then on up, they all pretty much have good audio.
I've got a Kenwood 520 Sugar. Maybe I'll put it on tomorrow.
No, forget that. That's just a big pile of junk. You don't even. You're talking crazy now. Come on, you're a smart guy. It's time to move into the real world. Get yourself sell all that junk you got and buy a decent radio.
No, I'm never going to get rid of this until it blows up.
Well, all I can tell you is you have no idea how far behind you are with with a radio like that. That thing is just an archaic, just a really archaic radio.
That's good. I'll make you guys suffer.
Well, like I said, you can get. I've heard 746s sound reasonably good. I'll tell you what. Well, okay, let me give you a little tip. Okay, you seem to believe what I tell you. Talk to John. John.
WB2. Well, hang on. I haven't heard him in so long. I can't even remember his damn call. It's right on my list here. Yeah, WB2BYT. Talk to John. John had one of the radios like you have, and he had spectacular audio out of it. He really, really sounded good. So, and I know probably what the deal is. He was running an RE27 Electro Voice microphone. No, an RE20. He's running an RE20 Electro Voice mic on it.
Well, if I could sound just half as good as you, Ray, I'd be happy.
Well, I can honestly tell you that John's 746 Pro sounded just as good as anybody else out here. And as far as I know, now you'd have to honestly talk to John, because don't forget John's an electrical engineer, and maybe he had lined the radio or done something with the radio. But he was running an RE20 microphone on it, as far as I know. I don't think he was running a preamp or anything like that in front of the mic, and he really, really sounded good. Now, what mic is on there now? Did you change to the Heil?
No, too busy.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you can... What Heil mic do you have?
No idea.
Well, you know, that's like when I ask people, what are you running for coax cable? And they go, I don't know. It's RG8, but I don't know what brand. You know, once a guy tells you that, you just throw in the towel right then and there.
Roger, Roger. Well, we used to work on 6 meters, remember that?
Well, yeah, that was like 15 years ago. So, yeah, I remember, but I don't remember. If you're going to ask me how did I sound, I couldn't tell you. But all I can say is that like I said, your radio would sound, ask John how he did it. John had a really good sounding 746 Pro, and I'm assuming it's the microphone. From all our testing that we have done here, when you put a professional grade microphone, and it almost doesn't matter what it is, because I'm running an RE320, which is an Electro Voice, and this was the number one mic for a while. MXL is the number one mic now that everybody uses. But when you put a professional grade microphone up against any of the other ones and you actually hear them side by side, there's no comparison.
Yeah, you don't have, too bassy, which I like. A lot of people get all this bassy crap in there because they want to sound FM quality and stuff, and I don't agree with that over.
Well, we have a constant thing of people coming in here that sound absolutely horrendous. They sound horrendous, and when you tell them they sound horrendous, the first thing out of their mouth is, "Well, all my friends say I sound great." Well, then Randy usually makes a recording of them, and he compares the recording of me, him, and another guy, and then the guy hears the recording and he says, how could I possibly sound so bad and my friends never say anything, which you brought up the other day. That's because 99% of the people out here will never tell anybody they have bad audio.
Roger, Roger. No, I've experienced that too. Randy was just on here. Did you hear him?
No, because I just turned on the radio when I talked.
You know about the Misty Moonlight at Pittsfield? Misty Moonlight Restaurant.
Yes, I know. I was just turning the amp on. Yeah, I knew about it.
10 o'clock.
Right. No, I don't know if I'm going to make it because I can't find anybody to go out there.
Who's going there? Who's going to be there? Just Randy?
No, there's a bunch of guys coming. I don't know how many. Probably 4 or 5, 6. I don't know. I really don't know.
Somebody tell Ray to turn his amp on.
Yeah, right. I wanted to see if you could hear me at the 100 watts. I want you to do a beverage test on your regular. Now, don't give me any BS. Put the beverage on and then put your loop on and see which one you can actually hear me the best on.
I already did. It's on the same beverage antenna that I hear Tim better on. It's my East-West beverage with one preamp on, and you're at about 7 or 8 S units, and the noise floor is around 3. And the loop, your signal's obviously stronger, but the noise is so bad that I can't hardly hear you through the noise.
Yeah, no, wait a second. I dropped to 100 watts, okay? Now, I'm at 100. Can you hear me okay on the 100?
You're copyable, but you're not 100%.
And this is on the beverage.
That is correct. I am on my beverage.
Well, I don't see the big improvement those things make. But I'm going to tell I really kind of want to wait till later until everybody's in here. But I have had a wandering interference here for a long time. And sometimes it's vicious and sometimes it's not. And sometimes it's vicious and sometimes it's not. And my noise blanker won't blanket. And today I took out my MFJ noise thing inside the radio room, and it was buzzing like mad. And I said, how can this thing be that strong right inside the radio room? So I went through the house looking for it, and I went down to the panel down in the cellar, and I sat in front of the panel, and I kept on flipping switches on and off, and then finally I hit the switch and the damn off, you know, and the noise stopped. No rhyme or reason to it. So anyway, I shut the switch off. I go hunting for the noise, and you know what it was? It was my what do you call it? What's that? The Harbor Freight. It was my Harbor Freight maintaining charger that I had on a battery out there, and that's why there was no rhyme or reason to it. Sometimes it's in the battery, sometimes it's not. When that thing's on, it's an S on 160 over the place. So I unplugged the end of that. You got to get one of those MFJ noise, the headphones on.
Vapor lights, and I'd have to go to the three-phase power that comes right down beside my house that feeds Turkey Hill. Then I'd have to go to the cable system, which also goes right beside the house on both sides, which is leaky and old. Then I have to go to the starter switches on the street lights. One's in the corner there. There's one in the corner over there. Then I've got the trailer park over here, and then I got somebody that has a plasma TV down near the police station, and then I've got the main line power coming down the main corridor here in town. So which one do you think I should start on first?
I can send you a revolver with one bullet.
Do you think maybe I should move?
I think you're the kind of guy who should sell everything you got and move to an island off the coast of Gibraltar.
The very fact that I'm even active on this band and can hear your weak ass, excuse me, your weak derriere at this time of the day is a miracle.
Well, I'm working on my new antenna. Was that you that came in, Bruce?
Yeah, it was me. I was over working on the bench as usual, but I heard you say about those pulse chargers. Yes, I've experienced the same damn thing. And the one I have here, which is a Battery Minder brand, it's a bigger one. It's an 8-amp charger, I think. But anyway, it has this crazy sweep. It'll sweep up and down the whole range of frequencies, and you can hear the thing all over the place when it's doing its pulse thing. It's really nasty. You know, we live in a sea of noise, and it's getting worse every year. Wait until they put that 5G things. All our eyeballs are going to melt because the wavelength is about the width of your eyeball. This Katie, excuse me, Katie One Mount Whiskey.
Yeah, I love the cell phone chargers.
Well, you know, gentlemen, if you were real hams, okay, if you were really truly real hams, we could all move up to 1296, where there's the lowest noise generated galactically and ground-wise and on the Earth. That's the lowest noise floor of any frequency, right around 1250 megahertz. So if you all want to go there, I'll meet you there. I still have my antennas.
I'll have to get a new tube for my... Good evening. Not a new tube, but a new coil for my amplifier.
I'll have to get an amplifier. I only got 10 watts, but I have 55 elements.
You'll never hear me.
Oh, that's crap. Let me tell you a little secret, okay? There was this great article in Ham Radio magazine, which used to be one of the great magazines of all time, Ham Radio, not like this QST, but this QST thing. And there was what gives you the best signal-to-noise ratio? This is only for Mark, because I know the rest of you guys I've said this before. I don't think I ever told it to Mark. What will give you the best signal-to-noise ratio over a 100-mile path? If the power output, the line loss, the antenna capture area, and the receiver noise figure all remain constant. What frequency gives you the best signal-to-noise ratio over a 100-kilometer, 100-mile path? What do you think, Mark?
I have no idea. I can't get that far out of the bowl I'm in.
Well, just take a guess. Now, don't forget, the antenna capture area, the feed line loss, power output, and receiver noise figure all remain constant, which is doable. It is doable today. It's pretty close to doable. Okay, what frequency is going to give you the best signal-to-noise ratio?
I'm going to take a stab at 2 meters.
Well, I gave that some really thought back in those days, and I said 440 megahertz. But I figured the 70 centimeters would be the best. It turns out it's 18 gigahertz.
Wow, man, that is really up there.
Right. Well, and if you think about this just for a very short period of time, it's always the antenna that does everything. And don't forget, the antenna capture area remains the same, and there's the secret right there. But the long and short of it is, now just think about this, the long and short of what we're talking about, it doesn't matter what frequency you're on. It does not matter if you're talking, if you're talking the scatter mode, not the XYs, because that stuff won't bounce off the different layers. But if you're talking the scatter mode, let's say from me to you, okay, it really doesn't matter what frequency you're on. You can use any frequency, and it'll work just as good.
Yeah, well, you might as well count me out on 18 gig, too, because that's not happening either.
You'd be very surprised what you can do, because I know a guy that was with a handheld unit. He was in North Carolina, and he talked to the guy up in Maine on 10 gigahertz with a handheld unit. Okay, now I'm guessing that's 650, 700 miles with a handheld 10 gigahertz unit. So that just goes to show you what you can do.
A handheld 10 gig unit's probably, about $10,000?
No. Hell, you used to be able to buy them for, the microwave guy in Connecticut was selling them like $349, something like that, the whole unit. This was a handheld that some guy down at the league built. I'm sure he didn't pay more than a couple of $100 for it.
You know I'm cheap, right, Ray?
Yes, you tell me all the time. I know you're cheap, but besides being cheap, you're stubborn, and you don't put your funds into the right area. That's your problem. You're one of those people who have to have 14 pieces of gear sitting on your shelf, and I have always personally found that kind of offensive, because why have all that crap sitting there? If you notice, I do have a backup radio, but I don't really need it anymore. I only have one radio, the best radio. You buy the best, and then you just get rid of all the other junk.
Some people have pictures of family members and their wife and their parents all over the house, and loving memories and tokens of things like that throughout their house to remind them of all the things throughout their life. And then there's people like me that just have radio equipment that we just, sit all around the house with all the loving memories.
WG2E.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, but, I don't want to fault my fellow hams, but anybody who goes to, and this has nothing to do with you, Carl, but anybody who goes to a swap meet every other weekend to buy another piece of boat anchor junk, to me, is just nuts. I mean, they're just simply nuts. Take that money and buy a top-of-the-line real ham radio and enjoy it. Okay, go ahead, Carl, over to you.
Oh, good evening, everybody. Hope all is well. Not much to report here. Spent some time straightening out some of the stuff in the laboratory, but other than that, nothing else. Is Sunday still on?
Sunday is on. Now, Bruce, you know about Sunday, but I doubt you're going to make the trip way to Pittsfield, are you?
Well, if it weren't for two things, I would definitely do it. But one, I got the stand and the greenhouse thing, all the plants, I got like water. And two, it's my grandson's graduation. He's graduating from the University of Rhode Island with a degree in oceanic engineering. So I wouldn't miss that. So I've got my hands full Sunday, but thanks for thinking of me.
Well, it's fine. I'm sure I know that's way more important. How did Jane like her trip? Did she get home yesterday okay?
Yeah, I went up and got her yesterday, and she had a great time. She and Liz, our daughter, and brought her home. Had the right front caliper started sticking on her van I took to drive up to get her, and came on. I've been working on that today, but got all the lugs on the tire are frozen solid. So Jesus, I've never seen that before. This Chrysler evidently is a problem. So it got hot, and somehow the lugs froze to the studs. So I'm out there chiseling away at it, and it ain't pretty.
So, Bruce, W2MUR.
Hi.
Bruce, so I love your comparison. You said I can't do it because I got to water the plants, and then what was the other excuse? You had a graduation. What was that?
Yeah, graduation I have to go to.
Yeah, so the graduation was like comparing. I got to water the plants, comparing to so your niece or whoever it was is going to be elected to president of the United States. It was like the most amazing comparison.
I don't follow the logic, Mike. What I did is I laid it out in terms of when I get up in the morning. That's the steps by steps of things I'll go through.
I don't know why you got to come in here, Mike, after having a few days off and start breaking on people's chops.
Nice looking lights, Mike. I just thought it was interesting. I said, congratulate. Now, who's actually graduating here? Was a member of your family?
Grandson.
It sounds like an amazing accomplishment.
That if you're going to break his stones, you would at least listen to his story.
I did listen to his story. I just couldn't remember if it was his nephew or what. Grandson.
Hey, nice looking willow trees, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Mike, do you notice any different in my audio?
Yeah, you're a little pinchy.
Okay, just I'm on the old antique Yaesu rig here. I repurposed the 7300 as a laboratory instrument. It's been moved to another location here in the arch.
So it's in an undisclosed location right now?
No, it's about 10 feet from me, but it's hooked up to an impedance bridge and a scope and I'm just using it as a signal source. So it works very well. I had the thing on for like an hour and a half at 3/4 power, and it just sits there and it cranks away. Beautiful little rig. If you don't want to part with yours, let me know.
You're perfectly readable.
I'm thinking about buying a second one just in case.
Did anybody else ever notice that your audio was different, Bruce?
Oh, yeah, the other night after 3 syllables, Randy said, what rig are you on?
Yeah, that was me. I know that, but did anybody else?
I thought you went remote, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm talking to my silly phone. Let's see. Ray might have done it, but I might have prompted it too. I can't remember. I don't
Why
think
are
anybody
you
else
running
did.
that radio again? I mean, you just heard my spiel about people running old junk. Why would you run a radio like that?
Here we go.
Because I just explained it to Mike. I needed the 7300 for an experiment.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense. You used the good
might be
radio
the one
for
that
the
doesn't listen.
experiment. Okay.
Bruce, you see how it is? It's not that I have really good ears. I just happen to pay attention to people.
So now you got my curiosity up. You're using the 7300 as a signal generator at 3/4 power.
Hey, I have an announcement to make for for the net, but also for Randy.
Oh, but I'm not on a net. Is that it? Everybody else banned Randy.
Yeah, well, Mark, before Ray changes the subject, I'll answer your curiosity. No, I'm running it at that level because it's going through an attenuator to give me the voltage I need for the old General Radio 1606 impedance bridge that I'm using here. And I'm using the 7300 because it can get on the frequency that I want to go to.
Oh, okay, very good.
And what frequency is that, Bruce?
Oh, down around, let's see, anywhere from 800 to about 1200 kilohertz.
Ah, okay. I know you've been kind of playing around with that, so that's pretty interesting. Okay. And the impedance bridge helps you to get there.
No, I'm plotting the reactance curve for this coil system here.
Very good, man. Sounds interesting.
Okay, so here's my announcement, which is very important. Do I have the frequency?
I don't know, guys. Do we think we give Ray the platform?
As long as his blood pressure doesn't go high.
Yeah, as long as you don't go nuts like you did last night.
Okay, so here it is. According to Trump and the fight we're having with China now, the tariffs on Chinese merchandise is going to go way up, and it's going higher every day. So if you need any Bofang equipment, I want you to buy it as soon as possible. And Randy, that was for you.
Yeah, how could I tell?
Bofang is exempt from all tariffs. Bofang is exempt.
And why would you want Bofang equipment anyway?
Exactly. It's a story. There's a story behind this, Mark. I went a little bit Ray-like one night on a guy with a rig, and it's a long story, and it wasn't one of my better moments, but that's why he hasn't forgotten that.
Oh, I figured there was a story, but that's I'm just like, the only way I have one Bofang handheld radio, and the only reason I have it is because someone gave it to me.
And that's one too many.
I was
the
given
poor
one,
guy that Randy hammered. I'm pretty sure he turned in his license, sold his radio, and probably in a home now.
Who's that, Ray?
That guy that you harassed, that guy from Chicopee.
Oh, that guy he deserved it. It doesn't matter. So I have an announcement to make, and my announcement's way better than Ray's.
Hold on, I got to cue up the fanfare.
The Toad Harbor machine is back and on the air. I put the antenna back on today.
Wow, oh man, I'm guilted. I made an official contact.
Yes, you did. I'm going to send you a QSL card, Dave.
And it works?
It works dynamite. Yeah, it works good.
You said your mobile's back?
Yeah, I got the antenna back on. I just finished it up. It's kind of just Rube Goldberg on there right now. Just, it's just, I didn't even solder it. I just put butt connectors on a power line and like that. But I did use string tubing. But anyway, yeah, it's on and it works. It tunes. It does what I was supposed to do. But I've got to do a complete rebuild of all the straps. I was underneath the truck looking up, and it's not pretty.
Is there anything left?
I got a weekend coming up, Randy. I'll come up and get that done for you.
Yeah, okay. I know how much you like laying on your back working on your pickup truck.
Yeah, just make sure it's in, get it close to the snapper, turtles, and the ticks.
Hey, I got some bad news for everybody.
Keep it to yourself. Are you going Sunday?
So I
I don't think I'll make it Sunday, Randy. But remember the Grumpy Cat? Well, Grumpy Cat died at 7 years old.
Who?
Grumpy Cat. Remember Grumpy Cat? But she made her owner hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not $1 million. I forgot. It was on the news this morning.
Oh, that Grumpy Cat.
That's young for a cat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Grumpy Cat. Yeah, the cat died of with a urinary tract infection, apparently.
No wonder it was grumpy.
Too much wheat.
That's that wheat. It would do it to you every time.
You know, it's funny you should bring that up about dog and cat food. You know what they make the majority of cat and dog food out of?
Other cats and dogs.
Well, yes, but not as much as you think. But the main ingredient is...
Wheat.
No.
Hop and pepper.
Corn.
Corn?
Yep. You look at any of your dry dog and or cat food, any of it, all of it. The shelves, you go into your pet store and your food aisle with all the bagged foods and all that. The first main ingredient is cornmeal.
I thought it was that other protein grain that they were exporting to China. What was that? What's the name of that?
And it's not the good corn. It's the GMO Roundup Ready corn.
Did you hear, Mark, what I said the other night about the mechanic at the plant?
Yeah, I believe I caught some of those details, yeah.
Yeah, so he's been getting sick, and he hasn't been feeling well, and he's had some problems. And his doctor said, no more wheat. You've got to change your diet. No sugar and no wheat. Those two things, he said, are killing you from the inside out.
Absolutely.
Good doctor.
I think his ex-wife had something to do with that, too.
No, he's still got the same wife, and but that I thought that was I've been talking to him because he hasn't been feeling well. I said, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to try to do something for me, and this is what I want you to try to do. And you know, he has a lot of respect for me. We get along really, really well. He's kind of a little bit misguided of a kid, and he just is somebody that I can get along really well with, and a lot of people can't. So anyway, so I said, look, you just got to try this for me and do it for a couple of weeks and see how you feel. So he went to the doctor, and I went down yesterday or day before yesterday to see how he made out the doctor the day before. He went Wednesday, I went down Thursday, and he said that the doctor, he goes, I hate when you're right like that. I said, what do you mean? He said, the doctor told me exactly what you told me, how the wheat nowadays is really, really poisonous, and how you should just avoid it as much as you can.
That's why the country's full of idiots and diabetics, because of the white refined flour and the white refined sugar.
And he said that he is borderline diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, I had for breakfast this morning, I had the Pamela makes these non-GMO pancakes mix, and it's absolutely delicious. It's fantastic. I don't know what really it's based on, if it's oats or flaxseed or what it is, but I was going to tell Ray about that. It's called Pamela, and you can get it in any Whole or even Hannaford's or, even most supermarkets have it, Pamela. And it takes an egg and a little bit of water and a tablespoon of oil, and that's it, and then they're delicious.
Now, if you did a little bit of research on your history and you go back, you'll find out back in the 1920s, the Surgeon General was before Congress because they had some grand scheme back in the day about going to all of this changing with the wheat and the food stocks in the country and all kinds of things. There was a bunch of acts enacted by Congress when it comes to our food back in the early 20th century. And the Surgeon General warned them. He said, you do this plan that you're going to go through with this and you pass this bill, in less than 50 years, you're going to have an entire country full of idiots and diabetics. And they didn't listen to a word he said. In fact, they ran him out and replaced him with somebody else. And what do we have today?
Yeah, that's true. You know, the other thing about the non-GMO stuff, people do that because they feel better, but just be aware, too, that you're not going to lose any weight eating that stuff.
So you bought this Pamela, but did you bother looking at the box to see what it's made out of?
Yeah, I think it's flaxseed, ground flaxseed, and oats.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to check it out.
Well, aren't the oats treated for Roundup Ready too?
Yeah, it's got some. I put the maple syrup had the Roundup in it, so I put that on there.
Well, the non-GMO shouldn't be Roundup Ready.
Yeah.
No, I'm just teasing. Actually, the maple syrup, I sent that to you, Randy. Did you see that?
I saw something. I don't pay that much attention, Mike, to my phone during the day. I've been really, cranking out lately the last few weeks. So I did think I responded to something. Oh, your lights. I responded to that. I was really impressed by that. That was yesterday. That was a lot of work you did, and beautiful work too. Although the third tree from the left, on the left, had one light bulb out, I saw.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, I was up there listening to you guys on the cat. Well, here's the interesting thing. Okay, I was listening to you guys on the Pennsylvania K3, whatever it is, SDR, web SDR, and you guys were just solid. Everybody. I mean, it's not like I was in my radio room. Everybody was doing a great job. In fact, the thing that was amazing is that Tom, who was in Pennsylvania, wasn't doing that great, and he's like 3 times better up here. So go figure that out.
Just one thing, Mike.
Go ahead.
You want to throw to Ray how much stronger I was than he was down in Pennsylvania?
Well, as it was, I was almost driving in a ditch, just looking over at that. I forgot to put the S meter on, so I've got to be diplomat. I can actually weasel out of this one diplomatically. I never had the S meter on, but you actually sounded a little bit stronger. But Ray, then Ray, and you're always stronger anyway. It was like proportionally the same thing as it was in my radio room. It was amazing.
I love. Hey Ray, did you copy?
Yeah, it made perfect sense to me.
So Ray, you're 38 over right now, which is normally what you are. And my generous 7610.
The bands haven't been great lately, but tonight they seem like they're pretty good.
It's not even dark yet.
You know what? It isn't. I just realized. Wow, it's 8:30 and it's so bright out still.
Yeah, that's what kills me. I go up and that's what's so hard about the lighting career that I have, on these big jobs. I've got to stick around and see how they look. It just adds a lot to your day. I heard Ray last night. You were complimenting me, and then Ray goes, "Oh, the cash he must have. Oh, he's just rolling in the cash."
Yeah, isn't that something how he thinks? I just think about, there, right there. That's why we're different. I think about the work, the effort, the quality of the work, and the quality of the finished product, and he thinks about one thing, Mike. One thing.
If anybody's rolling in the cash, it's Ray.
Oh, you know it.
I just finally have enough to hold my head above water now. I was drowning.
Poor baby. I'm in my Prius. I'm going to come up and just rub your head.
Hey, Mike. Michael.
Yes.
You realize that when he went to his mom's house, he opened up the back of the dryer and there was 5,000 large in there. I mean, look at this guy was brought up by these people. When he kicks off, forget the radio equipment. I'm going for the appliances.
Hey, my dryer still has my 7100 and my ALS 500 in it.
You better get that out. The kids are going to come over and we have to do an emergency load.
No, you never, ever keep money in your house. What happens if the house burns down?
You lose your money.
Don't worry about it. Mine's all in a jar.
Right. Well, that's okay as long as it's buried somewhere. But, I mean, in the house, forget it. I mean, anybody that puts money in a house is stupid. The house burns down, that's the end of the money.
That's why
I got a fireproof safe, W1GC.
Don't you have insurance on it?
Yeah, insurance on money, that'll work out good. Go ahead, Joe. I know where Joe buries his money. It's simple for him. He just puts it under 4 inches of tar.
I got a big asphalt patio in the back that I got a whole bunch of money underneath it, So
I've
been sitting here listening to you guys, and been a while since I checked in, so I'm just sitting here doing some paperwork and some figuring out jobs and proposals, but I figured I'd hop in there and harass you guys.
What are you talking about? You were in here last night. I think you were drunk, but you were in here.
Did you buy that new Yaesu yet?
Nah. You know, I've been getting an awful lot of compliments about my TS990 with the audio, thanks to the Toad Harbor Net. So I really got to give you guys my compliment. I mean, I keep on getting flowers and awards and everything for the audio off this thing.
Did you ever mention the fact that it was tuned up by the world-famous Toad Harbor Net?
Yeah, but okay, now let me ask you this. You have that beautiful radio that truly sounds spectacular, and you're running it at 3KC wide. What the hell is that all about?
Attaboy.
Well, I don't change it every time I go to a different band and I talk locally. If I'm correct, when I did get my license, that you were supposed to stay within a 3KC parameter when talking DX.
You're the man.
Well, I'll tell you what, you sound about 10 times better when you put it on 4.
Oh, I agree, but I believe in abiding by the rules.
Yeah, well, so does Randy.
That's right. Hey, look at me. Look at I'm very pure as the driven snow. KB2 ZVP.
Let me ask you this. How do you work it with that microphone and your nose being 3 feet long? Is there what do you do? Put a little hole above the microphone that your nose can go through?
It's on a spring. I can't just move it over to the side.
Okay. Well, I knew there had to be some reason, something you were doing.
You don't talk directly into a mic anyway, do you? Well, you talk slightly off to the askew of the microphone.
Oh, I love that word, askew.
Now with the PR40, it says right in the instructions that you're supposed to talk directly into it.
It's an end fire, that's right. But I talk to the side a little. Hey, Joe, we're going to have a get-together in Pittsfield, Mass. this coming Sunday. A few of us are going to get together, and you know, you're more than welcome to come along.
What time is that going to take place? Because I'm going to be heading up to Lee probably sometime Sunday on the bike, so I'd like to swing by and get an eye on all you guys.
10 o'clock at the Misty Moonlight Diner in Pittsfield, Mass.
Misty Moonlight Diner in Pittsfield, Mass. Okay.
It's pretty cool. Every time we do a little something, everybody wants to get together, which I really like. I like getting together with people. Anyway, I'm going to go out in the kitchen. Be right back in a second. KB2. I got to go out to the porch because Chantel, my girlfriend's here. I've got to go say hi to her real quick, and then I'll be back. KB2ZVP.
Is Chantel the next door neighbor?
No, Chantel is from the Amsterdam, Fonda, Fultonville area. You know, she lives outside of outside of Fonda. You know, she's from back east. She's a back easterner.
Back east, okay. Well, why don't you bring them all to the breakfast? Then that'll give me an excuse to drive out there alone.
Chantel? Yeah? Come here, honey. I want to introduce you to Chantel. Yeah, come in here closer. So, this is Chantel. Chantel, this is everybody. Hello, Chantel.
Yeah, hello, Chantel.
Hello. Hello, Chantel.
Everybody's talking. So that was everybody. I'm not going to try to tell you their names.
That's okay.
But just tell these guys how wonderful I am. Come on.
Speechless.
That a girl. See that?
Chantel.
She's a real Frenchie, this one. She's a real French woman.
Randy, Grumpy Cat's estate was said to be in the millions.
Well, God bless Grumpy Cat.
It's buried under the litter box.
Tied away peacefully in her owner's arms.
I hate cats.
Okay.
No disrespect to your cat, Randy.
Yeah, I know. I hate cats most of the time, too. Chantel just left. She said good night or goodbye for now. She's going to go out and help Maureen feed the birds.
What birds?
All of God's creatures out back.
Oh, it's kind of dark out to be feeding the birds, isn't it?
It's very light here.
Oh, it's still that light here? It's pretty dark. It's almost dark here.
Yeah, we got quite a bit of light here, too, yeah.
You could easily go outside and read the newspaper here without any question. No trouble at all.
Oh, yeah, not here. What a difference, a couple hundred miles.
Yeah, well, where you are, Randy, you get the northern lights.
Ray, you got a lot of trees, so it looks a little darker where you are.
I think it's a Big Dipper.
It's pretty dark out here now.
Well, Ray's so high in elevation that he's closer to the thin part of the atmosphere, so the light gets, you lose light quicker.
It's that smog in Walbraham.
I got to jump out for a while, guys. See you later, KD1MW.
Good night, Bruce.
Don't hurt yourself when you jump.
Bruce,
See you, Bruce. Go sing a song to the plants.
I hope you won't do that again.
Never mind, he's making science great again.
Yeah, I used to be in here every night, and we had intelligent conversations. Now he's wasting all his time on that project.
So I want to say something. I'm glad everybody's in here, and this is. So I'll say this, and you take it the way you want to take it. I was talking to Maureen today, and we were talking about Scott at work. This guy Scott, and about how many aspirin he was going to take, and she's talking about how. So she has to deal with the public, right? She deals with the public. The public are coming in to buy things, this, that, and the other, and she's talking about how difficult it is to deal with most people because they are just stupid. And she goes, you know what it is? She goes, I'm around so many smart people that it makes it difficult to talk to dumb people. And I said, well, don't forget you're associated with the world famous HarborNet. And she goes, you know what it is? Most of it comes from that because everybody on there is so smart and so intelligent and witty and sharp-witted. I just get used to listening to that and having that conversation, she said. And to deal with the average person on the street is difficult.
And who is this woman?
My wife, Maureen.
Oh, okay.
So that's a big compliment for most of you guys. Most of you. I'm not going to say which ones that doesn't pertain to, but she thinks most of you are pretty bright.
Thank you very much.
I know exactly where the line is drawn going south, Randy.
You've seen the map.
Is that why my father called me son?
That's right. You're bright.
Well, for some reason, the East-West beverage tonight is outperforming everything.
So go again, Mark.
I'm sorry, the East-West beverage is receiving the best out of all of the options tonight for some reason. The polarity is different tonight.
Your signal just went up to 30 over 9. That's way, way stronger than you normally are.
Yeah, I know. You're 25 over, almost 30.
You're
and
20
the
over
noise
9
levels
now
here
on the
are like
beverage,
5 with no beverage, and I do have a beverage complete that I need to set up.
You're 30, Mark, here to me. Really strong.
Ooh la. Okay, all right. Cranking it, baby, making them electrons jump.
So you've been taking a beating on the other nets, your other pals' nets?
For
being in here every night.
Yeah, they know I'm here. They don't say nothing.
Well, they could be just happy to get rid of you.
They didn't get rid of me. They just figured that, I probably fit in perfectly with this group.
Well, wait a second, wait. Perfectly, Randy?
Don't pick on him. He's a pretty good fit. Every group has to have one of him.
Yeah, exactly. Except one, because they threw me off.
Well, wait. There is name one other net in ham radio that the guy has a wash tub tuner.
Well, Mark, understand. The other guys threw you off because they're not able to. A lot of people aren't. How do you say this? When you're around somebody way, way, way smarter, a lot of people just can't handle that.
That's exactly what it is. That's the same thing I run into on 11 meters. If you're smarter than them, they hate your guts.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the way things are just about in everything in life. When it comes to marriage or if you're at parties or whatever it is, you can't, when you're Einstein, you can't schlepp around at the stockyard.
Right. Well, I was fortunate enough to meet a great man up this way. I told you about him. His name was Peter. He was the smartest man I ever met. There wasn't a question you could ask him about anything, the universe, the cosmos, mathematics, physics, atomic bombs. You name anything you asked him, he knew the answer to, and everybody hated him.
That was the doctor, right?
No. Well, I don't know. He was the one. He was orphaned. I think he was orphaned during the World War II, and he was raised by Franciscan monks. I think he was orphaned at 5 years old, and they took over his education, the Franciscan monk order there at 5, and they taught him to just do everything: mathematics, Boolean algebra, spoke 8 languages fluently. Just was a brilliant genius.
Wow.
That was the old guy up on the hill?
No. He lived up in Belchertown. He ended up shooting a guy in his house one time, killing him. And the local police came, the Belchertown police came, and there was a big to-do, and finally the Fed showed up, and they told the police they had to leave, and there was a big fight there. The police were going to arrest them, and the Feds were going to... Finally, the head Fed said, if you guys don't leave right now, I'm going to arrest every single one of you, and you'll be in jail for the rest of your life. We're taking over this investigation, and it's done. And the next day, everything was gone, and nobody's ever said a word about it.
And where's Peter now?
He's dead. He died. You know, he was older.
Am I the only
I think
one
he caught pneumonia and died, but incredible genius. And one of the best debates I ever heard him get into. He got into a debate with my buddy there, the Reverend Bob Dewing, who was the one I told you that did a few exorcisms and stuff. He was rated 3rd in the Episcopalian Church nationally. And him and Peter got into a religious debate one time over the radio. That was the most fascinating thing I ever heard. So essentially you had 2 PhDs going at it religion-wise. It was very, very interesting.
Can anybody copy that call of the CW?
No, and don't even listen to it. You know, the guy comes in here all the time, does that. I don't know why.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
And like I said, everybody hated him. Everybody. All the hams hated him. All the CBers hated him. The CBers actually hated him less than the hams. The hams hated him most of all, just because he was brilliant. He was truly, truly brilliant.
Well, you know, when you got somebody like that in the room, they kind of suck all the oxygen out of it. What do you got to talk about? There he is. There's the guy you want to talk to. Why am I here?
I used to love to talk to him. Are you kidding me? I picked his brain every second of every day. Now, like I said, there wasn't a question I ever asked him. One time I decided to trick him because I knew the answer to this. I said, Peter, what's the resonant frequency of space? And he just came right back and told me what it was.
Okay. What is it?
I don't remember. I read it in one of those, and I think it was in that ham radio article. I think it was in that one of those ham radio articles, and I asked him about it, and he knew what it was. I mean, he's like I said, and I asked him one time. I said, "How can you know so much? I mean, how can anybody?" He said, "I have a gift." He said, "I can." When you ask me a question, he said, "I've read thousands and thousands of books." And he said, "You ask me the question, and I can see the page in the book, and I can read right off the page the answer right back. That's how I can do that."
Oh, he's got a trained photographic memory.
Yes, but it was way, way, way more than that. You know, I mean, anybody that can read, he just told me he can virtually retain everything he's ever read, 100%.
That's a miracle. That is a gift. I would love to be able to retain 10%.
Yeah, exactly. 10% would be a home run. This guy retained 100%. Like he explained to me. You asked me the question. He said, I see the book, I see the page, and I read basically right off the page the answer.
You know, that there isn't really a resonant frequency of space. I mean, there's too many variables in space. I mean, I remember something about it being around, you know, the audible frequency, a little higher, I mean, ultrasonics, like somewhere between 100 to 20,000 hertz or something like that. But that's a pretty wide range, you know, to define resonance. Resonance usually is one frequency.
Nitwit Net, calling the Nitwit Net.
Just look it up on your computer. Ask your computer what the resonant frequency of space is. It's going to come up with a number because there is a resonant frequency. It's way up there. It's in the gigahertz range, but it's there.
Okay, let me look it up. Hold on.
Calling the Nitwit Net, calling the Nitwit Net. Howdy.
Okay, so it's about 47 megahertz.
Is that what it says?
Yes.
That doesn't sound right to me.
KHD3? Yes. Okay, so if we apply constants to the formula of resonance frequency by placing permeability and the inductance from permittivity as the capacitance, we get blah, blah, blah. We're about 47.71 megahertz.
47.71 is what it says.
Yeah, I don't know. I could have swore it was much higher than that, but this was 30 years ago. So, hello, Tom. It's about time you got in here at the right time. Say hello.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Randy. Hi, Ray. Hi, Mike. How y'all this evening?
What's going on, Tom? I heard you on the WebSDR in Pennsylvania last night.
He was talking crap about you, saying you didn't have a good signal.
I know, I heard him.
No, you've got a much better signal now in my shack than you did on the WebSDR, which I couldn't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. Your signal's awful low to me lately, Tom. I don't know if it's my antenna or your antenna. Does everybody think Tom's signal lower than normal?
Yes.
Go on in there, Tom. Let's take a look at you.
All right, it probably is lower. I see about 900 watts. And I already bought one spool of 500 feet of wire, and I'm going to be replacing the dipole and the Toad Harbor feed line. That's on the agenda coming up.
Well, if you got all that room out there, why don't you put up a loop? I really, if you can get a loop up, that's the antenna to put up.
Tom, you're running about 10 over up here in Utica, New York, which is a little lower than normal, but you peaked out maybe 15, but then you're anywhere between 9 over to 15 over here into Utica, New York.
Okay, then it probably is down a little bit.
You're 20 to 25 to me, which is a little bit lower maybe than when it's pitch black out, but it's a long way from pitch black out yet.
But I saw him go up to almost 30 over 9 a couple times during the winter. You know, he was always 20 over, sometimes 25, 30. Now he never goes over 10, and sometimes he's only a 9.
Yeah, I got Michelle. I got Chantel over here taking pictures in the window. Just flash. She's flashing me.
I got a question for Randy.
Yeah, Tim.
Are there going to be any YLs at this diner?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. There's never a Toad Harbor get-together that wives aren't included.
Yeah, I just brought it up on the web. Kathleen likes it a lot.
Oh, will she come?
I doubt it, but she likes it. We might go one day when nobody's there.
Well, you should come on Sunday, both of you.
Yeah, well, she hates ham radio.
Yeah, but she likes me, I think, okay, and I think she likes Maureen just fine, and the rest of the people that'll be there are way cooler than us.
Roger. Okay, well, it's an hour and 45 minutes for me.
Well, it's 3 or so hours from here, so we'll meet you there. We'll start earlier than you.
Yeah, if I leave by 8 o'clock, I should get there by 10.
Right. Just come up. Have a good... Well, you know what? If you want to, fine. If not, that's fine, too. I understand. It's a long ride for just a quick breakfast, and that's all it'll be is a breakfast. We're not going to have the big event, what are we calling this thing? The big event is on the 15th, right?
Roger. One more question. How come you're much stronger than Ray?
I haven't showered.
Okay. All right, I'll just be listening and carry on.
Yeah, you're like 35 or 40 over right now, Tim. You're way stronger than you were earlier in the light.
Yeah, you're 30 over to me, too, Tim.
I have the answer to that question.
I got to get the far end of this up higher. I got a tree. I can just pull it up to around 60 feet. It should really play then.
I'll tell you, I raised up my antenna one side of the antenna, and these guys all gave me better reports the next day. Immediately, it was apparent.
Yeah, you're peaking 50 over 9. I've never seen you so strong.
Yeah, but this is the first time you had a real antenna on this band.
Not true. I had a 3/8L. It was gangbusters.
You had a what?
3/8 inverted L. It's inductive. You tune it with a single cap.
Yeah, but that's a lousy local antenna.
Yeah, but who wants to talk to local people?
Well, how do you like that, Randy?
Yeah, what the heck, Tim?
And when I can talk to Japan, why should I talk to you guys?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, if you can get a couple of day shifts to come over, then it's worth having the 3/8 inverted L. If not, the loop's much better.
Yeah, I talked to Kentucky this morning on this loop.
I'm wondering, I'm still thinking about the resonant frequency of space, and I'm thinking, okay, so if we figure out how to make radio frequencies travel faster, much faster than the speed of light at some point, because we may have communication requirements for that, how do we, I think that whole theory changes.
If you want faster than light communications, you need to get into quantum entanglement.
Right. So do you know that even right now today, if you take a tunnel diode, how long has a tunnel diode been in out there and available? Years and years. Okay, so we can look at an electron in a tunnel diode. If you measure the entry point of that electron and where it exits, it actually exits out of the tunnel diode before it enters by multiple tens of powers of seconds, microseconds. It's just truly an amazing thing. Not a lot of people know that.
It's not the same electron.
That's right. It's not the same electron, but if you're looking at it carrying energy, it practically and effectively is.
Well, here's where you're going. It takes 2.68 seconds for a radio wave to get to. No, that can't be right. Let me think about this. That's 2 minutes. Excuse me. It takes 2 minutes. And, no, something's not right here. Let me figure this out. 2.6, okay, this is what it is. It takes 2.68 minutes for a radio wave to get to Mars. So the round trip at the fastest is going to be basically 5.5 minutes before you get your answer. That's a long time.
No, that's not right. Then to go to Mars and back at the average distance, of Mars and Earth average, is over 40 minutes.
Now you're nuts. Mars is at 30 million miles when it's close, and it might be 60 million miles when it only takes 8 minutes for light to get from 100 million miles away from the sun. Is 8 minutes, so it would never be that long.
I remember that from the opportunity thing. Okay, so at 60 million miles, the light travels 186 miles a second, and so you just divide 60 million divided by 186,000. It's 322 seconds divided by 60 is 5.37 minutes. Yeah, you're right.
Damn.
Yeah.
In there.
5.37 one way. So it's going to take at the worst case scenario, it's going to be like 12 minutes to go back and forth. But that's a long time. Go ahead, Devin.
Good evening. Just discussion, light traveling. What kind of diodes out in space
The QRP station out there?
travel at the speed? What diode reads the medium?
What happened to your signal, Devin? You're way down.
Yeah, what, do you unhook the antenna?
Yeah, Devin, there's something wrong with your signal. You're way, way down.
Put some quantum booster on that.
Okay, how does this sound now?
Yeah, that's much better.
You got some quantum physics on that.
Well, this amp goes to sleep after 25 minutes.
What kind of amp is that?
It's a very, very good, modern, solid-state amp. Does not waste energy. If it's inactive, goes to sleep. I was doing some work, didn't pay attention.
Wave of the future. Wave of the future. I got a 1977 amp over here. This thing doesn't go to sleep ever.
Okay, so what were you saying, Devin?
Oh, for tunnel diodes, electrons to move, it needs a medium, some kind of medium, for electrons to displace each other. In space, you don't have that. You cannot displace the other electrons. So you cannot change the speed of light.
Well, in a tunnel diode, what I've read and learned, that an electron actually exits faster than it enters.
Yeah, but it needs a medium. It has to enter some medium and then exits. But when you are shining in space, any light or radio waves, there's no medium in space.
It's a vacuum.
It's a vacuum, so there's no tunnel diode there.
So is a wave a particle, or is it a wave?
It depends. It has properties of both.
Is it a wave or is it a particle?
186,246 miles per second.
Sometimes it behaves like a wave.
Is it a vertical or a pave?
It's polarized. It's a bipolar. Sometimes behaves one way, other times behave another way.
I had an ex-wife that was bipolar.
We don't want to talk about her.
Thank you.
Living in North Pole. Aren't they bipolars?
I think she even bought a few extra poles and put them in there too.
What's the metric speed of light measurement? 200. It's at 200,000 meters per second.
300.
Okay.
I've got a neighbor that's a pole dancer.
Let me out of here. I gotta go to bed. W3HHN. Bye-bye.
Sleep well, Timmy. Hope you're feeling better.
Quantum problem
okay,
that we have with communications. We need to figure out how to get that 5 minutes to Mars cut down to just 1 second.
Use a bigger amp.
You gotta go to.
You'd definitely get some time dilation going on if you were moving that fast.
Hello, Tootie.
Hey, how you doing? Sorry, got the right antenna now.
I was just going to say, I hope so, because, man, your signal was terrible.
No, I was just transmitting into my other radio.
Yeah, ask Steve about that. He managed that.
Here it is. Say it. So we want to speed up, go faster than the speed lights, and now we're talking subspace communications. Gene Roddenberry has it all figured out. You're getting into quantum and relativistic stuff there, and do not transmit at the resonant frequency of space, or you'll collapse the universe.
Yeah, well, he had they had the Star Trek in the 60s came out with the communicator, and that ended up being our cell phone.
Hey, they were way ahead of their time. And a lot of the stuff they used on Star Trek, even back in the 60s, is actually valid. It's valid, things that they talked about.
Well, they were talking to the Roswell folks back then.
Of course they were.
Yeah, did you guys realize that...
Don't encourage him.
Did you notice, ever since the Roswell incident, how fast our weather balloon technology advanced?
I think Star Trek came out right after that.
Well, the thing that scared me about that whole fiasco out there is it would be possible for the chief intelligence officer in the military to not be able to tell the difference between a flying saucer and a weather balloon.
Yeah,
Yeah, like an SR-71 pilot can't tell the difference between the UFO and Venus.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I saw a real good. Speaking of that one where the guys in the F-18 tracking that what he calls the Tic Tac, I saw a real good picture of that. The ones they show on TV are usually fuzzy and they're hard to tell, but I saw a nice high definition picture of that. And that craft that he's tracking you could actually see it, and it's obviously it's not it's flying and it's square. I mean, it's basically square.
Is that the one where they got the audio, the cockpit between the two pilots going, look at that thing, what the hell is that? Is that the one?
Yes.
I saw that. That was really pretty good.
Yeah, there. Now, how do you explain something like that? You got a square object that outruns an F-18 Hornet like it's standing still, and where does that come from?
Yeah, it's the Hall effect.
Well, at least the militaries of many countries now are pretty much, they don't try to shoot them down anymore.
Yeah, that just shooting at those guys just doesn't seem like the right thing to do.
I would say that was probably not a great idea. But I want to try their shield. According to Sergeant whatever his name is, the shield on their spacecraft is only 1/4 of an inch thick, yet it can't be penetrated by anything. I would love to borrow their shield technology and put it on an Abrams tank and fire one of those penetrators at it at about 100 yards away and see if that shield could stop it.
Yeah, we got to get you to a tank range, Ray. Geez, so you can get this out of your system.
Yeah, that would be fun. Can you hunt groundhogs with it?
Nah, it's not sporting. We'll have to see if we can get you to Aberdeen, where they do a lot of the armor penetration tests. It'd be kind of interesting looking at some of their displays.
Oh, you got to let me go with him. Together we've got to go, because I want to prove once and for all I'm a better shot.
Okay. So I have groundhog. I got a groundhog under my little barn, and he keeps popping his head up. And I started whistling, and he started coming towards me. He's trying to make friends. He looks like he was pregnant, right? So he's got an exit hole and an entrance hole. So what I did was, no one was looking. I peed in the exit hole, and then I covered it up, and then I peed in the exit hole, and I did that a couple times, and now he's totally gone.
You are one sick individual.
At least I didn't shoot him.
That's actually, it's pretty sick, I have to admit, but it's actually probably a great idea, because that's how animals mark their territory.
I was marking my territory, man. They didn't like it.
He's going to probably be in your basement next.
He's probably going to be cuddling on my ankle when I'm not looking.
Yeah, wait till you go to bed tonight. Next thing, in the middle of the night, he comes up and starts scratching himself right next to you in the bed.
Yeah, well, that's the day that I die of a heart attack.
Well, I don't have a farm or crops or anything, and I got a woodchuck, I got a possum, I got a bunch of rabbits, squirrels. Even a fox comes around every now and then. So I just feed them, and they come around, and they don't bother me, and I don't bother them.
Do you have any wolves?
No, high dogs or coyotes once in a while, but very rare. I haven't. You hear them once in a while, and I saw one or two over the 7 or 8 years, but not lately.
Hey, I'm coming back from Colgate last night, and I almost ran over a little coyote coy dog. I mean, he was running like lightning. I mean, he just like, it was like one of those like moments where I remember seeing a deer flying over my hood, and there was nothing I could do about it. This thing was just darting across the road, and there was nothing I could do about it. I just missed him by inches.
Did you scream like you did today? I chased you with a snapping turtle.
Now it happened so quick I couldn't scream.
That's a good one.
Keep on playing with the snapping turtles. You know, they can reach back over halfway back on their shell.
One of those are coy wolves. I think it's an eastern coyote and a western timber wolf, or a western timber wolf are interbreeding with eastern coyotes, and they're smart as anything. They're traveling in southern Canada, New York. They're around, and they were watching them. And they travel between towns using the railroad tracks. They'll hunker down in the clover leaves of interstates, so nobody bothers them there. They're smart as a whip, and they're roaming around. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I think they hop on trains and they go from city to city.
Did you see that thing about the dogs in Russia riding the trains?
It's collusion. That's where the collusion is, right there.
I guess I don't follow.
Hey, did anybody catch that interview with Barr, the Attorney General?
Oh, that was amazing.
He's a sharp man, isn't he?
He certainly is. And you mark my words. I'm going to say it again and again and again. They're gonna charge these people with treason.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
You wait. We'll see.
Well, remember my theory, if you remember correctly. My theory was that Mueller was doing this whole investigation clandestine, and it sounded like they were doing it again. That Trump was being investigated, but really it was the whole treasonous activity that was going on to try to overthrow the government. So that's what I think. So the reason why I know that might be true is I heard that there's grand jury investigations still continuing from Mueller.
Mueller's a lying sack of crap. He knew that whole thing was phony from day one, and he just kept it up.
Yeah, but think about it. If that was true, you're right. But if it's not true, it was just a whole smoke screen, like I was saying, to investigate. Think about it. If you'd have to keep it so secret if you were actually investigating, the Clintons and the shenanigans shenanigans is really a very light word, and the word and the things that they were doing to really compromise our government and our way of life.
Tardnet calling the Trump Tardnet. All Trump Tard.
Ignore. So.
It's such a shame when cousins marry.
Yeah, that was funny. That's what happened to the pharaohs. I was watching this great show, and they finally explained King Tut was all kinds of deformed, and they explained that they thought they were gods, so they kept all they married their brothers and sisters, and that's what took out the Egyptians.
Yeah, it runs into a lot of those absolute monarchies. They can't breed outside of the bloodline.
Yeah, I guess that's why they had to get Diana and Meghan Markle. Although I have to admit I'm jealous of Meghan Markle. She is so hot.
Who is Meghan Markle?
That's exactly my question. Who is Meghan Markle?
Listen, what planet do you two guys live on? I'm serious. You guys don't know who Meghan Markle is? Meghan Markle is an actress that one of Diana's sons just married. He married her about 4 or 5. Well, no, they have a kid. She's pregnant, so he married her maybe a year ago. Look her up. She is a real beauty. She is a really beautiful, beautiful girl. Maybe close to Emily.
That was Harry, wasn't it? Didn't Harry marry her?
Who is she? What's her name? Meghan Markle.
Harry's wife?
Yes.
Oh, so the planet they're from is Tralfamador.
The wife of Harry. Well, I don't watch TV, so I don't know who all these TV people are.
Well, neither do I, but I knew that he married Meghan Markle, and I see her. She's on the she plays on the Hallmark Channel once in a while, and she is really, really good looking. Do you see a picture of her, Randy? What do you think?
I didn't look her up. I could care less what she looks like.
Well, wait. She is truly, really, really, really beautiful. Look her up, and you tell me who's better, her or Emily.
Yeah, Randy's like the artificial intelligence of the Toad Harbor Network.
It's a toss-up. I'm telling you, Meghan Markle and Emily are pretty close, although I still think Emily was slightly better looking.
So, Randy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's hard to work break in here. Don't feel bad because I don't watch TV either. I am Mr. Zero. I can do a lot of great trivia, but pop culture, forget it. But I'll tell you, all these women that Ray mentions, I've heard of them, and I'll tell you how I know of them. When I'm when I'm going out through the checkout line at Hannaford, they're all on the cover of the Inquirer and all of these rags that are there by the checkout. And that's how I know their names.
That's right. That Meghan Markle's been on all the covers of the magazines.
All the more reason not to look her up.
I got a motorcycle magazine that has a Flying Merkel motorcycle. You ever see one of those?
I've seen those. Now, that's something worth looking at.
Hey, Joe, where'd you go? Are you still here working your paperwork?
I like looking at the one that says Yacht World.
There's somebody in there from the island of Fiji or something.
Indeed, yes.
Why are you so weak tonight?
I'm running 47 watts.
Well, okay.
Joe, is that you?
Jesus Christ, you guys
It's
bust my
Jose.
ass all the time. What's the problem here?
It's
Joe,
Jose.
Joe, listen to me. I think you sound great. You sound fantastic.
I'm like a Verizon guy. Can you hear me now?
Certainly hear you better.
Over.
More power.
Mo Power.
More power.
Anyway, KB2ZVP.
W2ZRY.
And 2 Echo Whiskey Mike pushing the 10, mister.
WA2ES.
How am I doing over there, Joe?
So, Doc, do you know who Meghan Markle is?
Who's Megan?
No clue.
Well, when it comes to a woman that's as beautiful as she is, you really ought to pay a little bit of attention.
There's a lot of beautiful women in the world.
When you've
you
been
know
married
what?
for 50
I
years,
wish
you
that
quit
was
looking.
true, but not
No, you
like
don't.
Emily
You
and
start
Meghan
looking.
Markle. One out of probably, if you're really, really lucky, I'll bet it's not even 1 out of 100. It's probably more like 1 out of 1,000.
Yeah, but who cares what she looks like? If you're married to somebody, has nothing. I mean, yeah, you hope that they look good, but it's so much different. There's so much more to wonder about. And you know what? She's going to be an old, ugly hag one day, and what she has between her ears is way more important than what she looks like.
I agree 100%. I mean, I'm 100% in agreement with you. But the old saying, it's just as easy to fall in love with somebody
Mike,
rich as it is
Bad
to
Mike,
fall
hell
in
of a
love
job
with
at the
somebody
college,
poor.
by the way.
Hence the same thing.
Thank you.
It's the thing that amazes me is how some of these guys get the most beautiful women. You look at these women, they're gorgeous, and then you look at the guy and say, how did that guy do it? Well, usually the way they do it is they got the unbelievable sense of humor. They keep a woman happy, laughing, secure, and safe.
I think it's the joystick.
Yeah, that's true, but the trouble is you got to get the first or second date with them, and that seems to be the hard part in this day and age.
You got to be funny, man. You got to be funny.
Yeah, you got to get in their presence. How do you get in their presence when you can't get them out on the first date? There's the issue.
The whole funny thing is what gets you on the date to begin with.
Yeah, well, you got to be able to talk to the girl for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes to be funny. You can't just walk by her, say, in a checkout line and get 30 seconds with her.
That worked for me.
Well, I don't know. I'll tell you what, next time you come down here, I'm going to send you into Stop and Shop, and I'll point out the girls, and if you can get a date with one of them, I'm just going to kill myself.
First, I got to see the will. I always try to hit on girls at supermarkets.
Well, I know it sounds a little stuck up, but it appears to me that the three girls at this one supermarket, the three of them that I've asked out on dates, never take the date. But the thing that kills me is the guys they are with or the guys they were with are just substandard beyond belief. I mean, this one girl had this scumbag living in her house. He didn't work. All he did is do drugs, and she couldn't get rid of him. It took her a year or two to finally get this guy out of the house. Now, when I finally learned that she finally got rid of the scumbag, I asked her out on a date, and she never ended up going out with me. Now, to me, and this is another observation that I have made, those type of girls are just self-destructive. They don't want a good guy. They want another terrible guy.
Well, okay, so the first thing you've got to do is stop looking at girls that are hanging out with drug addicts or scumbags, because they're not ever going to be in your class, okay? So if you've got a girl that hangs out with a scumbag, druggie, whatever, a-hole, that girl's not worth your time whatsoever. Move on. Don't even talk to her.
Hence, the other girl we were talking about last night. There it is, black and white.
Plus, Ray, you got to remember, a lot of these girls, and I know a lot of these girls. I've never been involved with any, thank God, but they have this idea that they're going to save this guy, they're going to save this drug addict, they're going to save him. So they got this savior complex, and that's how they get burned, and that's how they get drawn into all these horrible relationships.
That's why that's what attracted me to Maureen, Maureen to me. She's gonna save me.
She's gonna save you, but you already were saved. So, but you just made her think she was saving you.
What was she saving you from?
A spider.
A spider. Hello, Randall.
Oh, you know what Henry David Thoreau said about the subject?
No, what did he say?
He said happiness is like a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it will elude you. But if you turn your attention to other things, it will come and sit softly on your shoulder.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good statement.
I think he was high.
So profound. That is profound. I'm going to tell Melania about that. That's awesome.
But then again, you know what Confucius say.
Now listen. Now we all agree on one thing. Right. Melania's hot.
I wanna know what Confucius said.
Right. Do you know what Confucius say?
Go ahead.
A man with hole in pocket feel cocky all day.
Women who fly upside down have big hairy crack up.
Hey, Dave.
Dave, you always got the wisdom.
Yeah, Melania, she is a beautiful woman. No doubt about that.
Melania is classy. She knows how to class.
I don't know how classy she is. I've never talked to her, but she seems like a pretty, she's married to the most arrogant man on the planet, which I'm okay with, but it seems to me like she just seems, cool to me.
Wait, she's married to Obama?
No, no.
Be best.
He's not arrogant, okay? He wants to be portrayed. He tries to portray himself as being arrogant. He's just a sad little boy trying to, become something way more than he ever will.
I think you need to look up the definition of arrogant.
No, I know what arrogant is, and he's not arrogant. He's just somebody that tries to... He pretends to be arrogant.
Exactly. He pretends to be something he's not, which is a little pipsqueak. He pretends to be someone bigger than himself.
Yeah, exactly. And Trump is arrogant. He doesn't care unless I've got to look it up maybe. But Trump just doesn't care who he pisses off. He just says what he wants to say, and he knows who he is, and that's that.
That's not being arrogant. That's not giving a crap.
I'll tell you, he's going to win in the end.
Oh, yeah. No, we're going to win in the end. Mike, now that's against the law, you know.
Unless you're playing the bagpipes. You were playing those, right?
2020.
All right.
Can you imagine how many people are going to be upset when he wins in 2020? People are going to be jumping out of windows, jumping off of bridges.
I was watching Fox News before while we were on the radio here, and they had recuts of the election back in 2016 on the election night returns, and they had all the different channels, you know, NBC, CNBC, CNN, and ABC, and all. They were all crying in tears because Trump won.
I would have paid. I still will pay. I want to see the pictures of Hillary when she finally realized that Trump won.
I would give my radio for a video of an actual video of her that night hearing the news.
I mean, they got to exist. I can't believe they haven't leaked.
Launched the longest tirade of F-bombs in a 5-minute span ever possible.
It's been documented.
She did.
It's been documented.
Yeah, she was blaming everybody. Everybody was wrong. Everybody blew it. Everybody did this. She blamed everybody except herself. But, you know, I can't believe there's not videos that have leaked of that.
Neither do I. I want to see them. And you know what? The truth of the matter is, I hope she's listening. She lost the election all by herself. She did it to herself.
Remember when she came out of the woods?
I'm listening, Ray, and that's a horrible thing. You gotta know that my husband Bill brought me through this. When I tripped into the van, Bill was there to hold me up. Ray, you're a terrible person.
There's something wrong with this guy.
Yeah, he's going over the edge too.
I think we ought to take him on the road.
Hey, wait a second. I have a great idea. Mark
is gone because he knows you're wrong.
No, Mark's tuning up his oil burner. Mark, are you listening?
He went to the other net.
No, I was going to ask him if we could trade Mike to the other net for him. Permanently.
Where did Mark come from? So what's the story of Mark? What's his background?
He got thrown off another net, another group that he talked to, and he got thrown off. They didn't like him, so he ended up coming here, and he found a nice home.
It was a lesser.
You guys call the almost dead or the quasi-dead net?
It was the almost dead net. It's the waiting. Now this is all me. I got to take all credit for this. It's the waiting to die net.
I mean, I've listened to Mark. How can anybody throw Mark off a net? I mean, the guy's the nicest guy in the world.
He's probably too smart for him. That's exactly what it is. You know, he's very knowledgeable. He knows a lot about a lot of different things, and people like that just don't like people like that.
I mean, he sounds like he's got. He sounds like a biochemist because he knows all of the wheat and the body chemistry and everything.
He's the third generation of holistic medicine people. I mean, he's been brought up. You know, his parents were brought up in this, and his grandparents and his great grandparents. So he's third generation. You know, of holistic, nutritional. You know, whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense because he definitely knows his stuff and he's not arrogant about it.
Well, see, the thing is that you know. In amateur radio, you die for a guy like Mark. I mean, cause you got guys on nets that saying, "Well, what'd you do?" Well, you know, I changed the plumbing in my toilet because it was leaking and it woke me up at night, and so I got that done. So I got that going for me, and then I went out there to clean the gutters. Oh, that was exciting, and I got that going for me. So that's all I got.
So no.
The thing is, it's sad that the other nets don't have the intellectual capacity and the confidence that we have that we're not threatened by a guy like Mark.
So This is the God's honest truth, and I'm not making up one second of this, okay? So I'm on this net. I'm not going to say what Moose and Squirrel. I'm not going to say what net it was, but it's a net. And I check in. Hey, guys, how you doing? This is Randy, KB2's ZVP and all that, and check into the net. And, hey, how you doing? So we're listening. Maureen's sitting over in her chair, and I'm sitting in my rocking chair here, waiting for my turn for this wonderful net. And this guy comes on. He's an older guy. God bless him. He's an older guy. And he's like, yeah, I got picked up in the van today. They brought me into the place, and they did my nails, and they cut my toenails. And he's all about how he's being taken. Now, so I understand it. People have to be taken care of as they get up more and more elder, and all this stuff. But I'm like, I look at her, she looks at me, and I just look at the VFO, and I just spin the VFO. I said, I'm done. When we're talking about cutting our toenails on the net, taking a valuable, and I'm waiting in line to get on the net about cutting my toenails. I said, screw this. Where's 1930?
Oh my gosh, that's so low. I mean, it's bad enough that we've all been there. When we don't know what else to talk about, we say, well, the weather is 52 degrees here in upstate New York. It's kind of cloudy out there, and here's my radio I'm using, and but it's good. Those are all icebreakers, but it's good to go beyond all that, and that's why I can say that it's great to have a guy like Mark that bring his point of view from a medical perspective or nutritional perspective, and then Ray from his point of view, and then Randy from his point of view, and all the other interjection that we have on this net, from quantum physics to Bruce and his experiments. I mean, all the things that are going on here. It's very, very interesting. I mean, that's okay. So why am I here every night? That's why. I mean, because it's very, very interesting for the most part.
No, most of the people are still asking, why are you here every night?
Yeah, well, because I add to the dimension of total lunacy that we need, on the Toad Harbor net, because that's the element that sometimes we need.
Ridiculous.
I would like to say good evening.
I heard somebody in the background. Who's that?
I would like to say good evening to, KB2 ZVP, Norway 8 Alpha Zulu, Walton, Michigan. Good evening and a good Friday.
Kilo Charlie 2, Victor Mike Sierra.
Uncle Walt.
Yeah, how you doing, Uncle Walt? The storms aren't being friendly to you tonight.
Hey, Walt, how you doing?
I'm doing good here, guys. I'm looking at Paul. He's already called in. Unplugged everything. The lighting in the area. Everything's shut down. Will not be there tonight. So we know he will not be there tonight. I don't see anything bothering me right now, so I'm okay.
Well, happy that nothing's bothering you. How you been feeling? Are you still considering moving down to Mississippi or Alabama, wherever it was?
Probably going to be Tennessee. I think, but I'm not sure.
Victor
I don't know exactly what's going to take place, but
yeah, stand by KC2 VMS.
We'll take it one day at a time. See what happens. We'll see what happens. Oh.
Okay, well, hopefully you won't move down there, but if you do, well, hopefully you put up a good antenna so you can keep checking in. Somebody else was trying to get in there. Hang on one second. Who's the KC2, Dave?
KC2 Victor Mike Sierra. Go ahead.
Mike Sugar from Yonkers, New York. How are you?
Yeah, what's going on? How come your signal's so weak? What are you running for an antenna?
I have a wire antenna. And, what's our QTH?
Yeah, we're all running wire antennas, but why is your signal so low? What are you running?
I don't know. I got here like 800 watts, and it's just a wire antenna. Wire antenna maybe not in terms of monopole or a directional beam. I mean, a directional beam is the same.
Well, you're on 160 meters. How many people do you really think there are here that are not running a wire antenna?
That's correct. You know, I had a monopole, and it did work. Believe it or not, it did work. I just added extra coax, and that did the trick.
I don't know what to tell you. You're as weak as, I don't know. I don't know. Randy, take over.
No, I think he was in last night. Are you the guy that's running the 66-foot long antenna?
Negative. I haven't been out maybe now 2 weeks.
Well, I'm in Massachusetts near Springfield. Well, just explain what kind of antenna you're running.
I forgot the name. I got it on eBay like for about $100.
Anybody who been spend $100 for that antenna is nuts.
It's one of those common ones that they sell on eBay.
Right, well, there's your problem right there. As soon as you said you bought it on eBay or you bought it anywhere, there's the issue. That's why you have no signal. Get rid of it. You want to know how? We'll be glad to tell you. Not right now, but come in tomorrow night or a little earlier, and we'll explain how to build an antenna that works.
Beautiful, yeah, because you guys, you and the other gentlemen are coming in loud on my end. Like if you're almost next door to me, you're doing very good. How much wattage are you putting out?
Ray, it's on your end. You don't understand. You're coming in really well. His antenna's working great.
Yeah, I know. No, we're all running 1,500 watts, most of us, not less than 1,000. But see, there's a big group of us here, so I'm not going to stay in and keep on doing this. But we'll, like I said, come back tomorrow night. I'll explain it to you. When your antenna's inefficient like the one you have, you hear us just as good as you would with a normal antenna, but you don't transmit anywhere. So, you're hearing us 20, 30, 40 over 9, you're like an S9 and basically in the noise. That antenna does not radiate the signal, although it hears fine. That's what's going on. So come back tomorrow night if you want some help, and we'll give you a good antenna to put up. And make it yourself, and it'll cost you less than $100. N1 DBL.
Roger, thank you very much. 73 from Kilo Charlie 2, Victor Mike Sugar. Thank you very much for the attention, and I'll try and catch you tomorrow. Thank you again. Have a great day.
Okay, keep in mind that you're 5 dB over 9, but the noise is right around S9 or 5 dB over 9. In the summertime, the noise is 20 to 30 over 9, and we won't even know you're there. So there's the issue. Keep that in your mind. Okay, 7.3 on 1 DBL. Hey, somebody give me that pancake mix again. I wrote it down on a piece of paper right in front of me, and somehow I lost it. So I need the name of that pancake mix again.
It's Pamela.
Ready to go, Ray.
Okay, I got it right in front of me. I don't know how. I wrote it down right in front of my face, and now I can't find it.
It's delicious. You just put 3 cups of water, one cup of the mix, 1 egg, and 1 tablespoon of oil. And you take a little quarter cup, and you pour that into your frying pan. Don't put it on too hot. Put it on like about medium high, so you don't burn them. And they it's only 10 seconds a side, and then you put them. They're like 4 inches, and they're absolutely delicious. Use real maple syrup and butter. Make sure you warm up your maple syrup and have a little fruit with it. And you're going to live the dream.
Okay, well, I'll look it over. If it doesn't have a lot of chemicals in it, some of that stuff has a lot of chemicals. Go ahead, Dick. Pick it up.
Think about all the chemicals you've had with all the alcohol that you've drank.
Well, the spirit shop down the hill here is getting me some. He's ordering some wine that has no what do you call it in it? Sulfites.
I was looking for your gin today. I couldn't find it. It was a Tomcat gin. I couldn't find it anywhere up here.
I can't find it either.
Yeah, well, I supposedly sell it over in West Springfield now. So next time I go over that way, I'll try to see if I can get a bottle. I hate gin, but if you never tried Tomcat gin, you never lived. All I can say is find a bottle of Tomcat and try it. It's the most unique tasting. It's gin, but it doesn't taste like gin.
What about Tanqueray?
The ones I have, I drink occasionally. Bombay is what I drink. I just get used to that.
Yeah, Bombay's a very good gin. What's the other one there? They talk on 50 Shades of Grey. Hendricks. I think it's Bombay and Hendricks. They're both good, but Tomcat is so unique. You've got to try it. If you ever see a bottle of Tomcat, buy it. Drink it straight. Just put it right on the rocks and throw some water in with it. You'll be amazed how good it tastes.
Yeah, and you said you tried you got a bottle of rum the other day. The unique rum.
Yeah, it's a little bottle for $29. It's, high-end rum, but I've been drinking. I don't really like it that much. I don't think it's very good. That's Ziva. I think it's Zaya. That's the stuff. Zaya. Z-A-Y-A. Try that if you want some good rum.
Okay. Yeah, I get used to drinking Appleton in Jamaica, and that's what they had a lot of, and then good rum with me, but rum is rum, but I guess there's some good high-end ones.
Yeah, that's what I used to drink is Appleton, because that's a lot better than any other rum, but Zaya is much better.
Good, just what I need, a better rum.
Well, find a store that sells Zaya rum and Tomcat gin and buy the both bottles, and I'm sure you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Who likes rum? The store is pretty close to me, and they carry all kinds of stuff, even these limited production like Woodford Reserve, these oak cast or oak aged bourbons that are really pretty good, and they have limited production. They get it, and they do pretty good. So I'll check them out tomorrow.
Well, write it down because you're old. We don't want to forget it. Zaya for the rum and Tomcat for the gin.
Bob, do you like rum?
Yeah, I do. It's kind of my go-to drink, primarily rum and Coke, and just for some reason, I used to have a sailboat, and that was kind of the drink of the day.
Pirate, I get it, yeah. I found when we used to go to Aruba, a friend of mine owned a bar, and he broke out the good stuff when we were down there. Best thing to ever come out of Haiti is a rum called Barbancourt, B-A-R-B-A-N-C-O-R-U-T, aged, you want at least a 15-year-old, very colorful box, Barbancourt 15-year-old rum. On the rocks, no rum and Coke, don't waste it on that. If you don't like it, send a bottle up to me and I'll drink it for you.
All right, let me make sure I get it right. It's C-A-R-B-A-N-C-O-R-T, is that right?
Court, C-O-U-R-T, Barbancourt.
All right, got it. Thanks, appreciate it. I'll see if I can find it.
It's worth every drop.
Yeah, I'll tell you, more for Al than any congressional legislation.
Yeah, and it's way better than Pussers.
And then you gotta go Captain Morgan's and Coke.
Oh God, don't ever say Captain Morgan. That makes you look very bad. There's nothing Captain Morgan makes that's even worth drinking.
We gotta bring it up though.
You might as well drink. You might as well drink the lowest, cheapest. You might as well drink Pop-Off vodka. That stuff is just disgusting. It's disgusting. It's so bad.
Ray, your signal strength right now is 10 to 15 over, and I just give you a quick report. N1 DVL, N8 AZ.
Once in a bar, I ordered a drink with Captain Morgan, and I couldn't drink it. I told the bartender to throw it away and give me something else. It was the worst tasting stuff I've ever tasted in my life. Zaya, I'm telling you, if you like good look, I used to drink the Appleton. Bob, the Appleton you're talking about is the one that comes in the little rounded top bottle. It's a fifth, and it's kind of round on the top of the bottle.
I haven't bought it in a while.
wrong with Captain.
No.
Oh, bullshit. If you like Captain Morgan rum, you have no taste at all. It's like it's virtually like you might as well drink just regular gasoline or something. It is the absolute worst rum I've ever tasted in my life.
No, there's way worse rum. Bacardi makes this
try
garbage.
Zaya. Take your Captain Morgan and then buy the Zaya and put them both over ice cubes. Put 2 ounces of rum in each glass with a bunch of ice cubes and put an ounce and a half of water in with it, or 1 ounce of water with each one, and then sip them, and you tell me which one's the best.
The Captain Morgan, you save that for your checkout girl when she comes over. Give her a couple of tumblers of that. You'll be in Front City.
What's that lady one? What's the one with the girl? I got a bartender here. Chantel, by the way, is a bartender. Chantel? Yeah? What's the rum with the girl? Sailor Jerry.
Never tried it.
I like that, too. That's pretty good.
30 over that last transmission, Randy. 30 over.
So we're talking about Sailor Jerry.
What rum is that?
Sailor Jerry. Hey, Uncle Walt, how strong is, should I say, how weak is Ray?
Ray's a little bit lower than you are. You're very strong tonight. Last transmission, you were 30 over, Ray was 50.
Myers Rum, Special Dark.
There you go.
That's not a bad rum. That's not bad at all. It's way better than most of the other ones.
Hello, Russell.
Better than Bacardi.
Yeah, but again, Zaya is the best rum I've ever tasted so far.
Tanqueray was the best gin that I've had with Tanqueray.
I don't like gin and I don't drink gin, but Tomcat is. I don't consider Tomcat gin, but they call it gin, but I don't consider it gin.
Drank Tanqueray only, and that was it.
1AHA. Yeah, the gin helps me keep my malaria at bay.
Dick, go ahead, although it's awful noisy tonight.
Ray, you hear me, huh? Okay, hey, you're doing fine over here as usual. I just want to let you know I don't have a tick bite, but I have cellulitis in my leg, and I'm taking medicine for about 10 days. I got 3 blisters on my leg, and it's all cellulitis, it's red ankles and all that kind of stuff, right?
Don't know what it is, so I can't even comment.
Okay, what it is if you get a cut on your leg or something, you get infected. It's an infection, and that's what I have, cellulitis. Never had it before in my life, but I got it now. That's what I'm doing. I got 3 blisters on my left arm. I see the doctor yesterday, and he put me on this stuff to take care of it, I hope.
Well, take the medicine around the clock, if it's every 4 hours, to get up in the middle of the night and take it. That's what people never do, and that's why they never get cured. I mean, if the medication's every 4 or every 6 hours, set your clock in the middle of the night and get up and take it so your serum level stays the same, and that makes a very, very big difference on getting cured or not, especially when you're older. An infection can kill you, like that type of infection can kill you very easy, so keep a good eye on it. Okay, N1 DBL.
You're right, Randy. Ray, you're right. That's what they told me, and take it right up to the end, and don't stop. It's about every 6 hours I gotta do it, and about 11 o'clock tonight, and then around 5 tomorrow morning, it does the same thing, 11 the next day, and you're gonna get 4 of them in there a day, every day, so that's what we're doing, and we're gonna do it right through the, and, you gotta do it. Go ahead,
Yeah, you're doing it the right way. Okay, N1 DBL, back to net.
Hello, Bob. Oh, I'm I'm doing pretty good, just getting hammered by these electrical static crashes. You get that, Ray? I didn't hear what he said.
He said he just wanted to say hi to everybody.
Hello, Bob. Well, yeah, it says the static crashes are just whipping your butt.
Are you just running 100 watts? Yeah, okay, well, not enough this time of year.
So everybody, I'm going to put a demonstration on. I'm going to go to just 100 watts from running legal limit here. So just think about that just for a second here, okay? This is high power. Yeah, and this is 100 watts with the same audio settings. Nothing's changed at all. This is 100 watts output. I'm going to put the amp back on. And now this is the amplifier turned back on. So that's the difference that it makes a stormy night like this.
No difference.
Are you kidding me? No difference? Where are you listening from?
Hello, Mickey.
50 over, both ways.
Mickey, you want to go to breakfast Sunday?
I don't know. It depends. Where are you going to breakfast?
It's a nice place. We'll like it. It's called the Misty Moonlight Diner in Pittsfield, Mass.
Oh my goodness, we're going up to the boat in Baldwinsville, up outside of Syracuse tomorrow to get it prepped up to put it in the water. So I'm not sure we can make it all the way to Massachusetts on Sunday, as much as I would love to see everybody.
Gary can handle the boat part. You just drive up to Pittsfield.
Yeah, we don't need Gary.
Am I going to get my early birthday present? Because my birthday is a week from today, just so everybody knows.
Oh, sweetie, we'll give you the birthday present.
Yeah, Massachusetts is quite a haul from here. I will say that. It's just to get to Albany is probably a good 2.5 hours from where we are here. So, and then to get to Mass is another hike from there.
It'd be worth the trip.
I think you guys should. You're in Toad Harbor. You should come down to Sylvan Beach next weekend when we bring the boat down and have my birthday celebration.
I would like that, but I think we're tied up next week. No, next weekend, no. We'll be in the Catskills at the Irish Festival. We got cabins and stuff down there. Got a whole bunch of people coming there.
Oh, excuses. See?
Listen, we are booked out 6 months in advance. So if you want to schedule a birthday celebration, you got to do that, in advance.
All right, we'll do a belated celebration when we all get together in Kingston. How's that?
That sounds like a great plan. You actually going to go this year?
I will bear flesh, guaranteed. I already booked the hotel room, so.
We're going to throw Gary right in the lake, Ray. I'm bringing the anvil that I'm getting from Joe.
No, you can't get rid of him because I adore him. He's my rock. So you can't throw my rock in the lake. That would crush me.
We'll see. That's a bonus. We all know what happens when we throw a rock in the lake, right, Randy?
They're both going in.
The fun thing is if you throw them hard enough, they skip. Then they sink.
I was just thinking last Friday I was sitting here at the radio with my favorite coworker Candace, and for once Gary was the one that went to bed and I was the one on the radio late. Like there were 2 nights this week where I said to him, "Are you going to come to bed?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming to bed soon." And then at 2 o'clock in the morning I have to call him and text him, "Get your ass up here and come to bed." So we'll see if that's the case tonight.
Yeah, I can't stay up late tonight like last weekend. I have to be up early. I think I've got to get up around 4. I've got to go out to Buffalo tomorrow and help my son with with a concrete block plan out there. So, and I want to be out there by around 7. So I guess I got to get up around 4 o'clock or so.
Oh boy, yeah. Gary's got to go do the concrete work at his boss's shop tomorrow morning. So I'm going to run my errands in the morning, and then we're heading up to Baldwinsville in the afternoon to take care of the boat.
Well, I would ask you to come up and mow the lawn, but Maureen mowed the lawn yesterday, so you're in the clear.
You don't want to see me in a tractor. I did the lawn up here last year in the tractor, and luckily Gary wasn't here because I couldn't figure out how to get the damn thing into gear, and I had to text one of my other guy friends and say, okay, I'm embarrassed to ask my fiance how to get the tractor in gear because he's at work and he has no battery left on his phone, but I got the lawn mowed. I will say I got the lawn mowed, but it was not pretty, but I got it done. I got the job done.
Hey, Randy, what do you think? You want to see her on a tractor?
I'd love to see her on a tractor.
KD2 INX.
Let's just say it was quite a sight, and luckily there wasn't anybody here to see it. Let's just put it that way.
I don't know. I could change into a dirty old man any second now, but I'll just try to behave myself.
Behave yourself.
Yes, behave. Oh boy. Yes, behave, everybody. We have to keep it clean because we're on ham radio. So.
What's that, Walter?
I was just saying, you have to keep it clean, Randy.
I'm doing my best.
I might jump frequency here, guys, real quick here. So I'll say 7.3s all the way around. Good hearing you tonight, Mickey. First time I've heard you, I think. No, maybe last Friday, I think it was. Didn't catch a call, but 73s, 88s all the way around, and I'm getting out of here and going to a fly up the frequency for a sked, hopefully. Weather permitting, 33s. So 73s all the way around, 80 easy.
N2 Echo Whiskey Mike, almost at the top of the hour.
Okay, Uncle Walt, 73. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Happy you're coming around and stopping by the net. See you later, 73. KB2ZVP.
Have a good night, Walt. W2KRY.
Take care, Walt. W2MUR.
Take care, Walt. KD2INX.
Bad Mike, you're in here too?
I'm here, Mickey. I'm here, but I'm not all there.
Hey, none of us are all there. That's the beauty of it.
Not so sure you had to tell her that, Mike.
I've been running on I've been running on empty here, so I've been getting up at probably 5 in the morning and getting home here at 11, getting dinner, trying to jump on the radio, and I'm just running empty.
Who sings that?
Running on empty.
Jackson Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good call on the Jackson Brown.
Jackson Brown.
Wait till you see this.
Well, I saw the message you just sent me.
Wait till you see the next.
I saw the message you just sent me, Mickey.
Message to somebody? Oh boy, somebody needs to enlighten me about that one.
Yeah, I saw the message you just sent me. You texted me.
Oh, please, enlighten me.
I was just jumping in with the gang here. Ray's watching Hallmark. He's probably snoring.
See, every time I I come on, Ray seems to disappear because Ray and I have yet to meet in person. So I need to enlighten him in a few weeks, and then maybe he'll come around and realize that I really am a normal, enchanting person. I'm not a Hallmark girl. I will openly admit that I am not a Hallmark girl, but someday he'll come around and realize that I am worthy of chatting with. So until Kingston, I'll just have to wait.
Oh, you're so worthy. He's not worthy. And there's nothing wrong with Hallmark. I don't watch Hallmark, but it's okay if you do.
How is it that you haven't met Ray yet?
I didn't meet him. We couldn't make it to the picnic last summer because we had graduations and dance recitals and all kinds of other stuff going on, and we didn't make it up there that weekend, so that was the only chance I had to meet him.
Well, you didn't go to the Christmas summit either, did you?
No, when was that?
Well, she's a true blonde, boys.
Well, clearly it was around Christmas, and I'm a bottle blonde, so take that back.
Can't prove it by me.
You're in so much trouble now, Randy.
I like a good scrap. No, it was, I don't know, what we got together up at Northampton there. It was cool weather. I know we had jackets on. I don't know. I really don't know when it was. And okay, so you weren't there. Yeah, so I guess you haven't met Ray yet. So you haven't met Ray. He hasn't met you. So it'll be love at first sight, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm not a Hallmark girl, so we'll see how that goes. That's my anticipation for that weekend, is to see what his first reaction is, but we'll see what happens. I'm not too worried about it, because I have the intelligence. I may not have the pure Hallmark beauty, but I'm edgy enough and intelligent enough. I'm sure I can keep him intrigued.
How about it, Randy?
Hello, Bob.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but the static is pretty tough. Well, how about now? Better? Well, it's neck and neck.
Right, that's it.
You got to have at least a gigawatt on here to be heard in all this static now. In the summertime, it's a tough band.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I'm pushing 1,000, so.
All right, I'm running up to grab another beverage. I'll be right back.
Okie dokie.
We got some thunderstorms tomorrow coming in. Disconnect your antenna, everybody. Randy, did you get your knife switches yet?
Well, I got some beautiful knife switches here, yeah.
So are you going to put them on, you're going to use them to disconnect your antenna? Are you going to put them on like a stepper motor, or what are you going to do?
I've got to figure that out. I was thinking about that yesterday, actually. I was looking, I had them in my hand, I thought about it, and thought, what can I do to get this thing, to make it a bit easier than either to bring the feed line to the front porch, or when you leave, you just open it up, and which I could do, actually. I could feed the antenna in a different location and just run the feed line someplace, either through the basement or along the front of the house or something, along the fence, who knows, right? But I was thinking about that. I'd like to make it where I don't have to get out of the house and walk all the way to the other end of the house to change it to ground, you know?
I mean, the thing to do is hook that on. You're so mechanical. You can take actually the pivot point of that knife switch, and you can hook that on, couple that to a small stepper motor, and then you put the stepper motor into a Lutron device, and make sure it's a 120 volt stepper motor, and you basically just have a limit switch when you connect it, and that disconnects the circuit, and then you re-energize it to reconnect. So a Lutron device would do that, and the tricky thing would be just the mechanical connection to the stepper motor.
Use a windshield wiper.
Yeah, windshield wiper would work. Yeah. You just gotta. The only thing about a windshield wiper motor is that you gotta time it so, you turn it off at the right time. And again, the whole idea of this is that you get a Lutron device and you put a Lutron hub in your house, and then you can hook up any Lutron device to that hub, and then you can actually disconnect your antenna anywhere you are. If you're in the truck, oh man, I forgot to disconnect the antenna. You just take your iPhone out and press the button, and the switch moves over to the other side and connects everything to ground or open, whatever you prefer.
Well, I could easily just walk out and just turn the knife switch. I mean, I could easily do that.
Or if you're on the road, you could just have Maureen do it.
Well, if I was gone, it would be done.
Well, you never forgot to not do it. You ever leave the house and forget to disconnect?
No, I don't walk out of the shack without disconnecting the feed line, snapping the switch on the back of the radio, because this has got it's got an interrupt on the back of the rig, so I shut that off, and I also disconnect the power strip.
Yeah, well, I forget sometimes.
Yeah, I make sure. I'm religious about that. I don't ever walk out of here without shutting off disconnecting the coax and shutting off the rig and making sure the power supply is interrupted.
You know what I noticed about lightning? It don't matter what you disconnect and what you have connected.
So, Randy.
Yeah.
How's things with Rob? Is he still working on the rig?
W2 Caraway at the top. I've been trying to call him. He said he'll call me from Dayton yesterday, but it's tonight, so I haven't heard from him. The last communication I had was that he was talking about maybe getting a unit for a contest season, which starts in October. So I'm kind of worried I might not see it again.
Oh man. Well, just let me know and I'll have a real quick, clear conversation with him for you if you want. I mean, that's just you obviously you can't let him have it for that long.
Well, I don't know if I can or not. Everything's for sale, so we'll see what the price is.
Well, a Rob Sherwood tested radio should fetch what? By the way, I've been trying to sell it. I've had it up for sale now on eBay for $6,000.
Nice.
Hope you don't mind.
Mind?
I figured.
All right, boys and girls, I gotta drop off. I'm having a hard time keeping my eyes open. 73's one and all to the beautiful people of the Toad Harbor Network, W2MUR in Holland, New York. Take care.
Michael.
W2MUR, this is N2 Echo Whiskey Mike wishing you sweet dreams.
Thank you, Mickey. I will try to have sweet dreams. I've always tried to dream about things that are beautiful.
Not me, man. I want the wildest dreams I can find.
Wild.
Yeah, I got some these great what are these pills that I take? They start with an M.
Marijuana pills?
No, you jerk. I take a couple sleeping pills, and they don't make me sleep, but I take some other ones that are just, melatonin, and they have a tendency to make people have really wild dreams. Well, I take 2 pills that are 7 millimeter, or mill of whatever they are. Anyway, I take 2 of those, and those coupled with the sleeping pills, and then a couple of glasses of wine, will generally lend themselves to a pretty wild, eventful sleep dream, evening.
The thing about the sleeping pills, I did a little research. My dad was taking those, and it's really tough on your short-term memory. They say the melatonin is not obviously natural. I don't know if that has the same effect. But my dad was doing that, and I told him to get off of it. Now he buys this Irish whiskey, and he takes a shot of that before he goes to bed, and he says that helps him a lot. I'm not sure if I recommend that, but it seems to help him. But, the problem is he doesn't know how to moderate. He takes 2 shots, and then he has 4 beers before that, and then he sleeps like a baby and doesn't get up till 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't sleep very well, and the sleeping pills definitely help me. And I do agree that that they're probably not the best choice because my memory is just horrible. So I think I think I've read something about what they lead to is they could lead more towards Alzheimer's and different things like that. So I wouldn't recommend taking a lot of sleeping pills, but I don't know, in my, 30 some odd years of taking them, I'm probably shot by now.
Now, you can just do crossword puzzles. You'll be okay.
They told me at GNC it wasn't worth taking the melatonin because you get immune to it after a while, and then it doesn't do anything, so...
So, is there any truth to warm milk? I always heard that. I never tried it.
Of course.
Really? I thought that was a wives' tale.
All right, gang, I'm going to head in.
73s, everybody. 73s. Take care. Mickey, good night. And take care, everybody. Bye.
Yeah, I'm going to sign off myself. So 73s to everybody. 82INX for Claire.
And to Wecco Whiskey Mike at the top of the hour.
Yep, 73, you guys sleep well, and KB2 ZVP.
Supposed to be a party down here. What's going on? Everybody's signing off, going to bed.
Yeah, I'm going to get out of here pretty shortly myself. Like I said, I've got to go to Buffalo tomorrow morning real early, so I should, get a good night's sleep.
Oh, I was informed by my far more intelligent husband that I'm supposed to step on the pedal for the amp, so I should be more solid now.
Oh, that's way better. That's more better.
Way more better, right?
Let's Binghamton talk. Sure, more better, sure. Better-esque.
That's what 8 years of college gets me, more better.
What happened to your friend Candace? How is she doing?
She's hanging with her boyfriend tonight, so I couldn't get her up here tonight.
She seems like a lot of a lot of fun.
Yeah, she keeps work fun. If she wasn't there, I'd be sticking pencils in my eyeballs. Let's just put it that way.
You know, she's a cutie, no doubt about that. I like the picture you sent.
She's fun. I always seem to attract the misfit toys for some reason, but I'll take that.
What's the old timer doing?
He's sitting here right next to me eating Pringles.
Pringles? They're made with wheat.
See, what he doesn't tell you guys is that he pretends he doesn't eat carbs, but at night he's a carb loader and eats a whole container of Pringles or a whole bag of cheese doodles or whatever else he's addicted to for his late night snack. But don't tell him that I told you his little secret, even though he's sitting right next to me.
Okay, I'm going to check out. Maureen's here and Chantel, my girlfriend's here, so we're going to go talk to these guys, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Tell Gary hi, and too bad you guys can't make it to breakfast on Sunday.
All right, KB2 ZVP, this is N2 Echo Whiskey Mike. Have a fabulous evening. Enjoy your night with the ladies, and we'll talk to you soon.
See everybody later. Good night, KB2 ZVP.
Night, Randy.
You're still awake?
Where are you going to be? But I am.
What the heck, Doc?
Where are you going to be Sunday for breakfast?
Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, all right. Well, I thought we're going to be in Baldwinsville.
Well, I asked Mickey to mow the lawn, but Maureen's already got it mowed, so don't have to worry about that. And from what I understand, she's not great with the tractor.
You got your bases covered.
And I told him that it was quite a sight to see me mowing the lawn, so.
Indeed.
Yeah, I said, from what I understand, she's not great with the tractor.
She can make it go forward.
But I look really good doing it. How's that?
All right, kids. See you later. 73 KB2 ZVP.
All right, Randy. Good night. 7-3. Into Echo Whiskey Mike.
Yeah, me too. Night, everybody. WA2EF.
Good night, Doc.
73.
Have a good weekend. Catch you Sunday.